Hi, friends. Host Derek here, talking with faith people, and my beloved Rachel is here as well.
Hi.
I'm live streaming. Do you know that everybody's gonna have a friend? It's true. Everybody's gonna have a friend at the animal party tonight. Isn't that nice? No lonely animals. They're all gonna have friends. I'm here, Levi. I'm right here. I'm your friend. Even Levi is gonna have a friend because I'm a friend to Levi.
I'm a friend to Levi too. He's one of my ISFJ male friends that I've never had before.
Yeah, talking with those people successfully gets you to be friends with people of both genders.
Yeah.
I wonder if you wouldn't mind being an incredible lamb and turning on my phone and seeing if there's anything urgent on it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I am an
Levi.
incredible lamb. Thanks, babe.
Sure.
Or it could be.
You are an incredible lamb.
Thanks. Oh, do I turn it
You
on?
just push up. Yeah, just hold the button down on the side that turns it on.
Cool.
So, I woke up from a long nap. Quite a long nap, I must say. Quite a satisfying nap.
So happy to hear that.
I would have slept even longer, except I really had to get him to pee. Yeah, Rachel's your first INFJ female friend? Cool.
That is cool.
So it's like yesterday I spent all day, literally all day, working on that song. That's just the reality of music and labor. It's that it's a 2-minute song or so, like 2 minutes and 10 seconds, but it takes so many hours to actually complete it.
I'll probably come home tomorrow. Not decided yet from your dad. That was
Can you just shoot him a thumbs up or something?
okay.
Just so he knows I got the message. So, what I see as the big problem in life is preparing for next Noah's Ark. I've got to make sure I collect 2 of every animal before the rains start. And I've been talking to the ghost of Noah, and he informed me there's going to be another flood soon. That the rainbows are going to stop, and there's going to be another flood. As long as there's rainbows, you see, it's God's promise not to flood us again. But if the rainbows stop, all bets are off. We could very easily get flooded again. So I'm going to make a big boat, and I'm going to put 2 of every animal on it. I'm going to get 2 cats, 2 dogs. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of different kind of animals, though, that I'm going to have trouble sexing. It's really hard to tell if a baby chicken is a female or a male.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, I would have known. You know, you've had them.
Even an adult chicken, it's hard to tell.
Really?
Except by crowing, you can't really tell which ones are roosters.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to probably get more than 2 chickens for the Ark. Because if I don't want to get 2 male chickens. I do speak to ghosts. They don't really speak back, though.
Doesn't seem like anything else.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Yep.
I am an esoteric demigod, non-humanoid, alien, half not man, centaur, not people. Okay, I am one of those, I guess.
Yeah. Me too.
You're
I've
one of
been
those
coming.
too.
See, I feel like I'm going into my Asian roots here by being neat and tidy. I've been cleaning. I mean, I'm tidying. You know.
No, you're living the dream of being happy, basically.
Yeah.
When people are happy, they feel and feel like they have control over their lives and their environments, then they do a certain amount of cleaning up if they feel like it and stuff like that, you know. When people are under ontological stress, they tend to shut down, you know.
You know, that actually was like one thing that I would do to feel more comfort. Like there's be times I'd just like, oh my god, I'm so sick of my room. Because sometimes I'd be so busy at work that I'd come home, crash, that was it. Like I was not cleaning my room. So to make myself feel better, I'd be like, I really know I gotta clean up because I know it'll make me feel better. Yeah.
Hot Rat says, I'm convinced my statistics professor at ENTP reminds me of you in many, many ways. Well, I'm not the only ENTP in the world, and if he's a statistics professor, he's more likely to be ENTP than ENFP, but could possibly be ENFP. I still wonder, when I extend a hello to everyone, does FE tradition dictate that I also say hi to each subsequent person who greets me, or is the initial hello sufficient? No, I think in that instance, you've got a clear indication that Levi is responding to your hello, so you don't need to hello back. You'll have to ask Cloud about that, Skygear. Hey, hey, hey. David Grandam. Hey, hey, hey. Like that kind of hey, hey, hey? Or is it more like a hey, hey, hey? Which hey, hey, hey?
Or hey, hey, hey.
I think there's two main hey, 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 right?
Hey, hey.
That's a good question, Rafael Alvarez. How do I feel about my song?
Hey, hey, hey.
I think I like it. I have to live with it for some time. I can never really tell right away. It's a good sign that it's gotten lots of comments. I think a song like that it's banking on it being, snappy and interesting enough. People go, hey, like that, and they go, hey, hey. So Luca Mullen says there's a everybody calm down, hey, hey, hey. So okay, we know there's a hey, 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 which is like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Stop that, Then there's a hey, hey, hey. That's hey, I'm here, everybody. That's the well, look at me, I'm here. And then there's hey, hey, hey. That's the one that Luca Mullen was talking about. So let's calm down. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey.
Hey, that's a taxi. Hey.
There's taxi. Hey, hey, hey. Which is, why are you going away?
Yeah, exactly.
But Raphael points out there's also a sexy hey, hey, hey.
Oh.
Hey, hey, hey.
Oh. Ooh la la from host Eric.
So there is another hey, hey, hey. You're right. Raphael, what do you think about my song? It sounded to me like you had some critique in there. I'm curious what you think about it. Expressive voices and faces anger you and you don't know why. You just might be epipolar. if expressive voices and faces anger you, you don't know why. You just might be bipolar.
Oh my gosh. Hot rats,
the
I
lyrics-
love you because I'm a rat in Chinese astrology, but I must be uh-ohing you because my voice is fairly loud.
The lyrics are in the video of the song, but if you want them somewhere else,
Yeah.
this is actually not a.
Updated.
Yeah, some of them are a little bit wrong, but
That's okay.
I changed some of them a little bit. But I'll put this.
It's called being spontaneous because you are an Eddie Dom.
Yeah, I will save this to Google Docs. I should just put it in the description of the video. So the lyrics. There you go. Okay. Now it's in the description. The lyrics are. Let me get the URL. Piao. Copy. Link address. Then the Piao over here. Yeah, it's in the description of that video now, the lyrics.
What I was doing. I'm very expressive.
You are very expressive.
So are you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I like to be
Excitement.
I like to be excited. I like to be whatever. If Hot Rod says I'm a snake in astrology, so I'd run away if I were you.
That's funny.
Snakes do eat rats.
They do. People buy them
Well, look,
just for feeding snakes.
I'm a pig, so I eat everything.
Pig is the opposite of snake, actually.
Makes sense. Pig's very open. And snakes are, what's that word?
Mysterious?
I was gonna say inscrutable.
What's that word mean?
It means hard to read.
They are.
Mongoose. Yes, Rikki Tikki Tavi was a mongoose, and mongoose can kill snakes. I tell you what else can get snakes is the lowly little hedgehog. I think that's what it was. We saw a video of this little hedgehog in the desert, and there was this poisonous snake that was going to bite it, but instead it killed the snake and ate it.
Yeah.
It was a really good video.
Yeah, that was.
That one really stuck
Yeah.
with me.
Well, no, me too. We both were like, oh, okay.
Because they play the video as though they play the video as though the hedgehog's doomed. You've got a pet African hedgehog?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
That was cool. That was cool. I like hedgehogs. Sonic was a good game, I thought, in the 90s. I didn't have a Sega Genesis, though, so I only played at friends' houses.
Treading kills snakes? What's treading?
Stepping?
Oh yeah, don't tread on me. Right.
Like with boots?
It's a reference to the snake flag that says "Don't tread on me."
Yeah. But do you think that boots are the best way? Like a treading
If you're gonna tread on a snake, probably you want boots.
I've been thinking about investing, or I have a pair of Doc Martens, in New York that I just didn't pack with me. I've been thinking about maybe if we go there, or have my parents mail them. I don't know. They're useful for climbing and rocks.
That's true, though, Levi. I like it. If you like a video just because you like it with no other reason, but you really like the person who made it, you might just be FE. It's true. I got an any game for you all. Make a definition of the word creepyliciously.
Creepyliciously.
In an appealingly spooky fashion. Libertas. Rachel seems to be more energetic than other live streams you tuned in for. If it's been a while, you're probably right. Thing about, I don't know how long ago it was, maybe coming up on a month ago, or maybe a little less.
Yeah, coming up.
We straightened out. We got her meds adjusted properly, and so she was having some troubles with like not being on the right meds, I guess you'd call it, and that's been addressed. And now, ever since it's been addressed, Rachel's just been an absolute delight.
Dude, it's always been that way. It's just never been handled correctly. So, I wasn't going to grow, unfortunately, because I wasn't under the right medication. And it just stopped working.
Yeah. Now it's working.
Mm-hmm.
A combination of 3 different things. Knockout pill called Klonopin. A mood stabilizer called, I forget.
Zyprexa.
Zyprexa. And the one thing that was added to make it all come together, which was Prozac.
Yep.
Which is a serotonin uptake inhibitor.
Yeah. Which is what Eric said before I left for New York the first time. That's probably what it was a issue with.
Okay, so Raphael, the fact is, in this song, many of the animal group names are real animal group names or other kind of group names, and some of them are just made up. Mm-hmm. So, it's not a grip of badgers, and it's not a sack of weasels, and there's no such thing as a lip flap of tattlers. But if there were to be a group name for tattlers, a lip flap of tattlers would be a good name.
That would be, because tattletales.
Right, they're flapping their lips all the time.
So funny.
So
okay,
so that one's made up. That's not an actual group name. But it should be. So
yeah. So I think it's totally fine that you did that because it works with the song. I remember freshman year, I was in art classes at the time, and our big project was that we had to come up with some children's book that
tattlers
would be
tattlers are people who tell on you.
Tattletales.
Like she pinched me.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, I really don't want to do this project, but I'm going to do it with Disney characters because there's a lot of Disney characters that have the alphabet name in them. So I'll do an alphabet book that'll be inside out, and I'll find pretty much all the names with X. And I was able to, except for one. And I made it up because I was just you know what, fuck this. I was able to find for every other one. Let me just make one up. Maybe I'll get some points off of it. But whatever. I got so scrutinized for making up a character, just one character. Everyone was so snotty to me. I was yo, this project was hard.
What was the project again?
So we had to make a kid's book. And we had to use all the letters of the alphabet. It could be about any subject that we wanted. but there was like it had to be folded.
Was it 26 sentences, each one beginning with the next letter of the alphabet, or what?
No, not sentences. It had to be visual.
Oh.
Yeah. It was an art project. So I was like, visualization is the Disney cartoon characters, and the alphabet will be their names. It was great. It was perfect. Except for one. I couldn't find it for X. There was no X character. There wasn't even Zeus was in Hercules. Z character. Like, I had everything except for X. And so I made up a character. You know?
Yeah, well, that's ridiculous that you're upset about it. A quiver's worth of cobras is making me horny. Well, that's because the group name for cobras actually is a quiver.
Mm-hmm.
That's the actual name for a group of cobras is called a quiver of cobras.
Straight.
Why is it making me horny? Because horny rhymed with with whatever was before, and I thought it was swarmy.
Quiver and horny.
Horny rhymes with swarmy because there's a colony of bats, there's a swarm of bees, and a quiver of cobras. Horny rhymes with swarmy. It's just to be funny.
It was good, I thought.
Good evening, Phil Lynch. Good evening.
So what I was trying to say was that like it's like really important, I think, to be creative outside the box of like stuff when it comes to creating, because it's your own, so who cares?
I like pain and poison. Mm-hmm. just looking at a quiver of cobras makes me horny. I don't know.
It makes you quiver.
But I like the fact that a group of porcupines is known as a prickle of porcupines. That's great, right?
It is. It is great. Prickle of porcupine.
Would you like some coffee?
Yes, thank you.
And what's the other one? A crash of rhinos. That's a bunch of rhinos. It's a crash of rhinos. All pumpkins explode when you look at them, but all lemons explode when you smell them. You can eat a pumpkin. if all pumpkins explode when you look at them, but all lemons explode when you smell them, can you eat a pumpkin? Yes. You can, as long as you have your eyes closed.
That's what I was thinking.
But lemons, you can't really close your nose. You could pinch your nose, but... Okay, so there's a pride of lions. That's the group name for lions. Exaltation is the group name for doves. A murder of crows. So Cassiopeia is revealed to be a crow. Now, slides. If you had a bunch of slides, what would a good group name for that be?
Gloves.
If you had a bunch of slides, a good group name for it would be
downfall.
A downfall of slides.
Nice.
That's like a park with a bunch of slides in it, right?
The reason I like a slide is part of the downfall.
And then, gloves come in a pair. So downfall I made up. Same with lip flap. But both those are great group names, right?
I love it. Creativity. You gotta think outside the box.
Yeah, well, it's like I'm looking for the lyrics to go really well rhythmically with what I wanted to do, and to be straightforward sentences, so that they're comprehensible. Since it started off in the first sentence, this big long sentence. Hi, Nicopane Labana. Nicopane Labana's here, everybody. We've been waiting for you, Nicopane.
Hello.
I said, you know what the problem is around here? We don't have enough people whose names begin with 2 consonants. NK.
Yeah.
Not a lot of things start with NK.
No, we do not. No, not a lot of them do.
Not a lot of Nicopanes. I know very few Nicopanes, like maybe 3 or 4 is all.
Is Nikolai Che?
Nikolai Shea is not a Nicopane.
No, he has an NIC, yeah.
No. You're the only. Actually, to be perfectly honest, you're the only Nico Payne I know.
Yeah.
I already have a somewhat of what you are, lol. You have to come to Germany if you like that. If I like
Nico
what?
Payne.
I like Nico Payne.
The Germany airport didn't like me asking them questions in English, and I was like, get over it.
Like, hey, listen up, Germans.
Exactly.
Your language is too hard. So you're just gonna have to speak English. It's it.
Yeah, I know you know how to.
Yeah, come on, you Germans.
Don't
Don't pretend you don't speak English.
Exactly. I need to know where I'm getting to go. There's no signs to say there.
And the same thing is true for all the rest of you foreigners. Okay? Don't pretend like you don't speak English. I'm not learning your goddamn language.
And you know that's why I was on the trip. Because no one else was gonna do anything like that. Everyone was just gonna walk around being okay with stuff. But I was on the trip to kind of be like, I'm American. I'm an American girl. I'm taking it all in. And I did. I really did. It was a great trip.
November Nazinga is a small peepee in Civ 6.
Speaking of pee-pee, she's hurt again.
What's a small peepee? I'm assuming Civ 6 is Sid Meier's Civilization 6.
It sounds like a video game.
Eric, that first song from TWFP, Joshua Tree, is that their original? I have no idea what you're talking about. Joshua Tree? I don't know that song. That's not from me.
The only Joshua Tree was U2's like one of their first like albums or something, but I don't know anything about anything before that.
Do you use that term to refer to people who are like warlords, like have to go around with a lot of guns, and is that what you're using that to reference? It seems like a gamer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Gamers like to misspell things on purpose.
It's a code.
Would you agree, people of the world, that gamers like to misspell things on purpose?
Is it a code though?
I guess it's so they can reveal that they're in on the gamer.
That's so cute.
Unleet. Leet. Eric, your innie does really weird shit.
Thanks.
That's true.
I like it, the weird shit.
Keck. What's Keck? What does Keck mean?
Yeah, what does it? Hey, Mailed Anthrax and Luca Mullen. Keck is LOL. Keck is the new LOL, like Keckle. You like? Are you lucky?
Horde for all. I understand that reference because that's a World of Warcraft reference, and Delilah used to play World of Warcraft.
Cool.
So I'm familiar with the two sides of the game, World of Warcraft. I see. Insufficient for what? Insufficient for other classifications?
I am a Star Wars fan, David Grand M.
I used to like video games, emailed Anthrax. But I just
hurts when they take stuff away.
I can't
question.
I can't really get into them anymore, I guess. Like, it used to be I would play football on the PlayStation. I probably would still want to play football if I had it. That'd be fun.
I'd play that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually would. But
maybe we'll get a console at some point.
well, you know, that's obviously not priority on my list.
Yeah.
We do fine without it.
David Grandam, that's the problem I have too, is that it ultimately feels like a waste of time. I tried playing Dwarf Fortress and I couldn't get past learning the game. So
We tried to do, what was it again? Minecraft, and failed epically and hilariously. It was great. It was like anytime we found each other or we found some sort of like light to get us out of this cave that we were in, so quickly would we not know how to do the game that the day would pass and we would be back at night again. And
we just dug ourselves into the bottom of a big pit, and then
there's nothing.
And then a zombie killed us or something.
Yeah,
it was hard.
It was really hard.
I have Switch. Switch is that gaming thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that.
You do?
Yeah, I bought a game. In fact, I tried playing it for a little bit, and it was like, oh, this is hard.
That would be fun for us.
We could play Switch game. I don't know what kind of Switch game to play.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm. That would be fun, right?
That would be fun.
We could have Danny and Delilah over. We can play with them.
But see, we only have one mouse and one keyboard. It's hard to play games concurrently.
No, Switch is like.
You'd play on your laptop, I'd play on mine, or what?
No. You hook it up to the TV. So you hook up your Switch to the TV.
Oh, it's a piece of hardware you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have that. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was just no, I have Steam. That's what I have. Sorry. It's called Steam. It's an app.
Oh, cool.
I was confused.
Animal Crossing. I've heard of that. Heard of that game. It's a Nintendo console, yeah. It's fun. You like if we played a Mario Kart.
Do people live stream that with Switch?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd like to know.
What's the gaming live streamer thing?
I'm a millennial. A Zoomer millennial. It's so funny.
Twitch, that's what I'm thinking of. That's what I was thinking of. That's different.
You're my Twitch.
Than Switch.
Guys, I love you.
Well, see, here's one thing I think aesthetically, Raphael, that it makes sense is that when you write a song that has kind of like a sweet or childlike kind of sentiment to it, it makes it easier for people to like it because they don't. Because it's not trying to, because of what it's trying to be, I guess. Like, you know, if you get, if I were to, it depends what you're going to rap about, right? If you rap about animal group names, there's a lot of effie pitfalls in rapping that one avoids by choosing that kind of subject matter. it's unusual, and it is not particularly narratively ambitious, and so it's, you know, you're right. It's not just animal group names. There's more going on in there for sure, but
An animal party.
Especially with the title brings it all together. So basically, it frames the whole thing as a sweet song about an animal party where all the animals get to have a friend. Is there more going on in that song than that? There's less going on in that song than that, but with that frame, it all seems to be about that. It's really just I like the way everything sounds together. I like the way the words sound. I like the way I just like the way that it works. Those are very crafted lyrics. Every word was mushed over. I've practiced that thing over and over and over again, doing it to the music, changing words here and there for a long time before I recorded it.
It's highly produced. You spend a lot of time on it.
I liked what you said about inferior functions being something you accept infinite help, and I think for me that's you pushing me to act or helping me act. I'm not very conscientious. So you're SE polar. A lip flap of tattlers telling on Vern who disrupted their favorite blossom of ferns and deserves. Did I spell it that way? I must have, because you didn't type it in. You must have copy and pasted it. I misspelled there? Eric. A lip flap of tattlers telling on Vern who disrupted their favorite blossom of ferns and deserves the burden of pain he earns, or so say the tattlers telling on Vern. Right. It does have some meaning. Vern's in trouble because he tromped through the fern garden.
The tattlers hold on him.
Yeah, and the other people there were like, you can't walk through that fern garden. And you're like, but I barely even touched anything. Like, you disrupted
the ecosystem.
Oh, that one's not correct. The actual lyrics are, who disrupted an arrangement of a blossom of ferns, which confers. I have to look at it. That's not the actual lyrics. That's the thing is, lyrics are a little bit different than those ones I wrote because I went with a take which sounded better that didn't actually use those words exactly.
Yeah, that happens. Good explanation of it though. I've noticed that before in others.
The actual lyrics are. And a lip flap of tattlers telling on Vern for disrupting the arrangement of a blossom of ferns confers a shameful burden that Vern deserves, or so say the tattlers telling on Vern. That's the actual lyrics.
That's great. It's kind of poetry.
Thanks, darling. It is very much. I write raps very much like I write metered verse, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, there's a herd of cattle and a flock of birds. School of fishes, it's a spew of words. Campaign of battles, a collection of churns. Cause farmers milk chattel for cups for the birds. And a lip flap of tattlers telling on Vern for disrupting the arrangement of a blossom of ferns confers a shameful burden that Vern deserves, or so say the tattlers telling on Vern. Bats are colonial, bees are swarmy. A quiver's worth of cobra res is making me horny. Got a cat named Capillo and a dog named Bird. Cassiopeia is the name of my bird. There's no powder for my cat. Bird has no pack. Got no grip of badgers, cause badgers attack. And the same goes for weasels, which come in a sack. But my Cassie's in a murder and they're all in black. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. like your
You lions,
interpretation
you
of
pride,
Raphael.
exaltation, a dove, the downfall of slides, and one pair of gloves. There's a pot of whales, burst the grapes, part the nails, swap the lace, snap the japes, crown of fails, catamates, ton of jails, whole crash of rhinos, and a knot of toads. Porcupines form a prickle crowd in the roads, drive a drove of pigs and yoke-a-toos. Save a smack a jellyfish, cock, and pot. Nobody's coming alone today.
Nobody's alone.
All of the creatures gather their crews.
Gather the crews.
Everyone's gonna have a friend. Everybody's coming alone today.
Nobody's alone.
All of the creatures gather up their crews.
Gather the crews.
Nobody's coming alone today.
Nobody's alone.
All of the creatures gather up their crews.
Gather the crews. Yeah, it's true that it's silly IAG last in terms of the general content of it, or at least it's not serious, I guess you could say. And some people don't like that. How long did it take to make the video, Levi? Not very long. The video making is relatively quick and easy. The new Windows Movie Maker makes captioning very, very easy and it's a good app. It's a really good app. I'm surprised at
That's good.
like how good of an app it is because it costs $10. You know, I've used
Is it?
costs $10. I've used what's it called? Adobe Premiere before. That costs like $50 a month.
Yeah, and it's difficult.
I mean, I can use it well, but you better be doing complicated shit with your
Yeah.
videos to need to use it because it is
True.
a bulky program.
Yeah.
You know, if it takes a long time to load.
Mhm.
It's
We used Adobe at the law firm that we worked at. Yeah, and it was like exactly how you said, very bulky. And we only used it for copies, so I could only imagine for art stuff.
I do have another song in the works, Levi. No, I've just got multiple songs in the works. The thing is, when will it come out? Well, given that the Kyra song is fairly far along, it might come out before I get a new bottle of speed, but probably not. I usually get one song done per bottle of speed. It's very labor intensive making music. The making the song part is incredibly time consuming, time and attention consuming.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the production behind it was just incredible. I mean, you put a lot of time into that.
And that one was relatively quick.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a lot of them take longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you think about these statements. Epstein didn't kill himself. There's a massive coordinated world conspiracy and is slowly enslaving us. And reptilians are our overlords. The first one I tend to agree with. I don't think Epstein killed himself.
No, I don't think so either.
The second one, that's ridiculous. The third one, obviously reptilians are our overlords. I mean,
aren't
obviously.
I one?
An overlord, a reptilian, or a regular person?
Reptilian.
Oh, reptilian. I think so.
That's right.
Am I one? I forgot. I thought you just meant like lizards and snakes and stuff. Obviously, lizards and snakes are our overlords. If any lizard or snake comes up to you and gives an order, you obey it.
Just like people obey Frank James. It's like the kind of like so happening overlord.
Eric, I saw a glimpse of ridicule. You're obviously not in on it.
Can I have a critique on Frank James's last video?
What was it about?
As dads or something, or the types with newborns.
I haven't seen it.
I'm not interested in watching that. I don't think many people are. I think you need to take it somewhere else.
Oh, you got like
Frank James.
The thing is, though, he gets like 17,000 views in like 7 hours.
I know, but still, like that. I think creatively, out of all the things, all the possibilities of the types as, it was just like such a honed in, like so specific thing that I like didn't even want to click on it. I know it's just one person, it's just one INFJ to another, and I think he feels it too. he might have had he does, he might have taken a person's suggestion, or like, someone won a contest or whatever, and they had to take their suggestion, but like something with baby, I don't know, it just was like, maybe you could watch it after. It just didn't. I was just like, there's so many other like ideas.
So why do you say that, Rachel? I think YouTube is great because people can say what they want. At least they should be able to. Why did you say what?
Because I'm talking about. So why do I say that, Rachel? I think.
So why do I say that? Why do you say that, Rachel? Comma, I think is what it means. I don't know what he's referring to though. If I had a band, I'd call it Crocodile Death Twist.
Yeah.
Crocodile Death Twist is a good band name.
Take it somewhere else. I really didn't mean it as a personal thing. Like, I was just saying as an observation that his ideas have gone down. That's a notice in a trend. That's it. And yeah, Clinton's been doing it for years.
Clinton's been doing what for years?
I don't
know. Take it somewhere else. Raphael.
I'd like to take a bong rip with you, so I'll wait if you're going to take one.
Yeah, sure. I will take one. Bye, Levi Samuels.
Bye, Levi Samuels.
Did it. All right.
Yeah, typing yourself is very difficult. I would like to also do this out of the 4 temperaments. I would like to see what you think I am, because I think self-reporting on that is pretty difficult too.
Likewise, Levi.
Bye. Love you too.
So I have to look into it. I haven't looked into the temperaments thing before, but I know that my ex-mentor teacher, Mr. Samuelson, he was a believer in those. He told me about them, but I didn't really pay much attention to it.
Cool. So now something maybe you will, or whatever.
With your simple system, you can discern Jungian cognitive function types and subtypes and subtypes in less than 10 minutes. Wow, that's amazing. That sounds like a good deal.
It does.
I need to go get my extra $5 million I've got lying around.
Oh, yeah.
Who's a good example of a gamma quadrant face? I don't know. I don't really have clear. I only have clear visual correspondences with NTPs, which is a usual thing, but not always. And what's much more consistently so, INFJ beta quadra eyes is pretty consistent with beta quadra. But those are the only visual things I have. I don't use visual typing much. I mean, I don't use it at all to justify my conclusions. I use it a little bit, noting that this person looks like INFJ or whatever. But KKSP, Countess, and a few others suggest I'm INTJ, though I initially thought INFJ for years. I'm not thinking you're INTJ, Angantir. I've never thought that. Either. I think you're more likely to be INTP or INFJ than INTJ.
Yeah. Blind. Maybe the type would be blind. I'm not sure. I know a lot of people don't like labels.
What type of someone if they
impaired.
don't have any eyeballs?
someone who doesn't have any eyeballs.
Eyeless. Eye free.
Yeah, I'm free. Free of sight.
Visually dormant.
I like that.
Maybe you're ENFJ email anthrax? Possibly.
You could be.
I don't think so, though. I think you're INFJ. Give us an NI question. Okay.
Types transcend sight. Drama Bear, are you starting up some truth?
Okay. Here's an NI question. Which is the better song? Is it or who's a better musical artist? Beyonce or Taylor Swift? That's a good NI question.
That is a good animal question.
Who's a better musical artist, Beyonce or Taylor Swift?
Now you got the Beyonce song stuck in my head.
The
The one that I showed you.
I can't even sing that one. That's so. But Single Ladies, I guess, is the only song.
Single Ladies, yeah. Oh my gosh, my single friends at the single time is that?
Okay, make Drama Bear. Taylor's producer is one of the best, so Beyonce. Okay, that's one answer. What else do we have? It depends on who says it. It depends a little bit on who says it. IAG last, whether I assume they've typed them correctly, and a lot of times I will say, assuming you typed them correctly. Upton Place is going with Beyonce. Not an avid listener, but heard a couple of songs I liked. Is neither an option? No. We're not asking which one's good. We're asking which one's better.
Yeah, because then you would be NI polar. You're just like not answering the question.
If your answer is neither, it's all just personal opinion, then you're not strongly NI.
No. True. I didn't mean to confuse people there. Sorry.
I didn't think you did. Heard a couple Taylor Swift songs that just were memorable to me. Okay. Taylor can write songs. I just don't know how much of it she's actually responsible for.
This is like, I'm so surprised. I'm surprised. Beyonce doesn't write her own music, really.
Okay, so the answer is Taylor Swift is better.
Yeah, she is.
Beyonce,
she does write all her own music.
And the reason is there are some Taylor Swift songs that will stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Because they exist independently of the artist as something of quality. Whereas nothing Beyonce does will stand any test of time because it's all just stylistic stuff that is
that'll be it.
It's not a real song. It's not even a real track. It's just kind of what's a track? It's an exercise in production and style and stuff.
Yeah,
and
because
not in
dance and everything.
Kind of musically meaningful or timeless elements to it.
And Taylor Swift, my college was right next to where she grew up in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. And now she's a huge star. She does write her own stuff. She actually ghost writes for people too. So do I have a lot of her music on my playlist? No, but she will last longer than Beyonce. Beyonce's going to be known because she's Beyonce. more of a personality, you know?
Right. Was nothing because I don't listen to either. Okay. Well, I mean, the thing is, NI has the ability to. Well, that may be true, Drama Bear, but you know, there's lots of reasons lots of NI reasons. Those who have the best musical chops are often hampered in being good musical artists.
She really like
chops are something you have to resist if you have them because you're not going to get
True.
holistically good music with being choppy. You know, it's garbage. Going up and down with vocal apparatus is garbage. Nobody wants to listen to that.
Aguilera, right? That range always makes me. She is the better singer, but she does not get the better songs.
Again, when we're talking about who's the better musical artist, we have to ask one question that beats all other questions. Which of them has any musical produce that's going to stand the test of time?
Right.
And Beyonce does not, and Taylor Swift does have a couple of specific songs that will stand the test of time.
She has more than one. That's the thing.
So, I mean, the thing is, regardless, Beyonce's variety of disposability is especially disposable. And so, and it's that way offensive to people who value NI.
Like me. And you.
And see, but McDrama Bear, see, this is the problem. You're evaluating it with what I would call basically an NI countervaluing approach, probably INTP or INFP, because we don't need to think that hard. The holistic truth is right in front of us. You know, there's a reason why, you know, Mozart is still heard by people.
Right.
People recognize his shit, and Salieri nobody recognizes his shit because one of them was timeless and one of them was not.
Yeah. It's just the truth.
And the thing is that the better definition of better though? That's a very TI question. This is an NI question I'm asking. It doesn't have a definition, but people who have strong NI can recognize it.
Overall.
People with strong NI can recognize it.
Overall. It can't just be in one area. Who's best overall? It is not Beyonce. Beyonce is a personality. She's gonna go down in history because of like being a strong African American woman who
married to Jay-Z.
Married to Jay-Z. Like, she's not gonna be known for her music as much. Yeah, sure, they're gonna like
Jay-Z,
in time capsules go back to her music, but not like kids are not gonna.
No hot rats. Frank Zappa was an ENFP. He was no ENTP. No way was he an ENTP. He's an ENFP. Frank Zappa is garbage. It's indulging in any for its own sake. ISTP, right, James? James around.
That's funny.
Zappa was no ISTP. Zappa was definitely an ENFP. If he'd been an ENTP, he'd have better NI. He's got terrible fucking NI. You know, because NI is an objective knowledge function. It manifests more purely with ENTPs because they have TI, which is an objective deliberation function, and try to engage in objective self-criticism all the time. But ENFPs just indulge in their NE and their SI and their FI. It's just like the only thing that Frank Zappa ever made that I remember, and I will sometimes sing, is this one line of words and melody. It goes like this. Don't fool yourself, girl. It's going right up the poop chute.
That's so funny.
That's the only thing I remember.
That is
so
so funny. That's not a good.
Do I think Alanis Morissette is an ENTP? I don't. That's a good question. She might be, but I don't think so. I think she's more likely to be. What other song did she sing besides Ironic? What's that other one she sings?
You ought to know.
You ought to know.
all I know. 'Cause I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to remind me of the Oh shit!
The cross-eyed
Fuck.
bear that
What
you
the
gave
fuck,
to me.
fuck, no.
That's it,
Not
right?
this- yeah, but the copyright shit.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine.
Oh,
I
okay,
wouldn't worry
good.
about it. Covers. Even if I get a cover thing, it's not like it removes it. It just says.
Oh, it just says.
It says you have to share some of your
Oh.
revenue because of copyright.
Okay.
So anyway,
Yeah,
I don't think she's an ENTP. I think
I don't think
she's.
either.
I'd say probably. I don't know. ENFP. ESFP.
I was thinking ENFP maybe. I know an ISFP who like loves her and identifies with her too. So maybe ENFP.
Like ENTP is that guy from the Bloodhouse Gang is textbook ENTP.
Yeah.
That's as ENTP as you get. And he's got some clever shit. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
They might be giants. Textbook ENTP.
Yeah, and Kate. Well, no, not Kate.
Cake is more.
ENFP.
No, I was gonna say Cake is probably NFJ band.
Aw, that's cute.
I think Kate guy
Yeah,
was probably
ENF.
ENFJ or INFJ.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I like them.
It's like Cake doesn't really have a lot of SI songs. You never hear about the guy's life at all.
No, you really don't.
You don't feel like he's singing about himself. That's a good sign of NI or SI low. It's also true of me. I don't sing about myself much either.
True.
But not because I'm an NI user, but because it's fourth. So
Yeah, but it'll come out in your music sometimes. You'll sing about your relationships.
and not even know I'm singing about them.
Yeah.
sometimes. Like, what's the big problem? That lyric when I say, yeah, you guys both have lots invested. That's not a reason to hang around. That was totally about my relationship, but I was thinking I was saying to myself, well, I'm writing a song that's supposed to be resonant with people universally. This line works in that way.
It does.
So I'll just sing this line. I wasn't thinking it was about me, but really there's a couple things. There's a lot of stuff in that music that was about how badly I need to get out of that relationship, but I just was in NI ignoring phase.
Isn't it better that with me you make Animal Party?
Yes. Animal Party is a sign that, I'm in a good mood when I'm making something.
That's good, right? Is it? I take it as a good sign. I love you. Look at that smile. He's so happy because he's getting the spot.
Right.
Yee.
If America wasn't on the other side of the world, I'd seem like a much more normal and reasonable person.
Meow, 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 meow.
You're Never There is a great song. That's one of their better songs.
Who?
Cake.
What about it? What about them?
You're Never There. That's a really good song.
Oh, that is a good song. I haven't heard that song in a while. I love the Madly one. Like I
I want to love you, man.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind of like you said, like you never thought about that song, or you always wanted that song to mean like good things or whatever.
But it always meant bad things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that song.
Okay.
I always identified with that song because I never really loved Madly, but
Miss Loving Pants.
um,
Oh, I love you.
growing your own weed is extremely easy. Although I right now have a seedling that I let die because we went on vacation at the wrong time. But just water it. Just plant it in dirt and water it. Give it light. That's all it takes. It's one of the easier plants to grow. People think it's difficult, but it's only challenging if you grow under lights. I have grown under lights before, and even then, it's not that hard. You just have to get good lights is the key thing. Not all animals taste great. Email them first. There's really only 3 animals you should eat: chickens, pigs, and cows. Everything else is kind of gross. Outdoor grows easy squeezy. You just got to plant and get it in the ground now, you know? You want to outdoor grow with a friend? Well, everybody's going to have a friend today. Everybody's going to have a friend. That's what today brings. Oh, it's illegal. Well, that brings a whole nother element into the thing. You like going the distance, email anthrax? I don't really like that one. No, I have never grown shrooms.
No, it's been a while since Maxi Chem's been around.
That's true. And I actually have never grown a dog either. The dog I got was actually I did grow one dog. I grew my Basset Hound. I got him as a puppy. Winston.
Oh.
How cute. What was your Basset Hound's name?
Winston.
Oh, that's a good name for a Basset Hound.
I usually called him Warpley Dog.
Warpley Dog?
Well, he made this warble sound sometimes. I guess that's where he got the name. And then
Aww.
he was a funny dog. He was a smelly dog. Basset Hounds are smelly, but he was also a fussy dog. Like Lacey, he didn't like to get his feet wet, but he also had some bad habits. Like if he found poop out in the world, he wanted to go roll in it. Any kind, like animal poop, like cat poop or
oh my gosh,
rabbit poop or whatever. Any kind of poop other than
his own.
Yeah, I don't think he typically didn't roll in dog poop.
Dog poop. That's so interesting.
Just cat and other kind of non-dog poop.
Yeah, that's so interesting though. Like
it was gross. It was horrible.
It is so gross. I'm so sorry.
And he was very much the opposite of Lacey. Unlike Lacey, who was very well trained, and I generally didn't have to have her on a leash. Winston was. You could never train that dog for shit. I'd always end up waiting for him. When I'd walk him off the leash, he'd start smelling something and go smelling off in this direction.
Gosh, I couldn't do that. But I had a dog like that too. He smelled everyone's pee also, or everyone's peeing, and I would be like, "Come on, Tyler, we gotta go."
Ducks are not bad. Goats are very edible. I've had decent duck before. Emu is tasty. I've never had emu. I'd like to try it. Would I eat a dog if I were hungry enough, I guess, but I would never have eaten my dog. My dog and I would go hunt someone else's dog.
It's funny. I like that.
Crocodile tastes amazing. I've never had crocodile.
I just the name. I can't.
Here's the deal. I don't think I want to eat reptiles. I don't think reptiles.
I don't want to eat a reptile either. Leave that to Pee-Pee.
Yeah. I'd never eat any animal that isn't normally eaten. Well, lots of animals are normally eaten someplace.
If my dog had rabies and was going to go attack me, it's me against the dog.
You still shouldn't eat it.
No, or shoot it. But,
you gotta take it down.
But you got, right.
Right.
Remember that's actually a huge lesson they have for children in the book To Kill a Mockingbird. There's a rabid dog, and they go to the parent to tell them, hey, like, there's a rabid dog that's loose. You know, because back in the day, like, there was, like, dust roads and no one around. So if there was a rabid dog, it's, like, a big deal. And they got someone to come out, and they had to shoot the dog.
No sense keeping a rabid dog around.
No. Didn't have any family. It just was in town. Possibly going to kill something. So
mutton is not delicious.
Oh, Yeller definitely taught a lot of people about death for sure.
I think it's here. Mutton is not delicious. Mutton is.
Is that deer?
Delicious. No, mutton is sheeps and goats. Sheeps and lambs.
Isn't that popular in Scottish food?
Yeah, it's popular where they grow a lot of sheep. Nobody eats it where they don't grow a lot of sheep, really, because it's not as good as beef. It's kind of gamey.
No, it's gamey?
Yeah. This is the thing. Taiwan, there are no birds there. I think it's because the Chinese people eat all the birds.
That's
That's the only explanation I can come up with.
I can't them it's a disturbance in the
Because
environment.
like around
so.
here, there are shit tons of birds.
Yeah. Yeah, of all different kinds.
I'm surprised we can't hear them right now. Usually there's a cacophony of tweets around here.
Silent.
Yeah. When you make your future band Crocodile Death Switch, will I play the triangle? No, I won't play the triangle. But if it's an incredibly good band, I might play guitar in it for you.
Yeah, and maybe I'll play the triangle. If it works out.
I have a very pinpoint question. What color would you assign to each of the following countries? Spain, Russia, Norway, USA, America. USA, America, what is that? Same thing? Portugal, Japan.
That is the same thing. USA and America are the same.
Spain is orange. Russia's red. Norway's blue. America is white. Portugal is brick. And Japan is
Millennial pink.
periwinkle?
I was gonna say periwinkle too.
Might be periwinkle.
It could be. I was gonna say periwinkle too, but I was like, no, millennial pink. But
Look, Sam Smith, I don't know why it is that in Taipei, Taiwan, there are no birds. But there are no birds. And coming from a place where there are shit tons of birds,
yeah,
that's
something to question.
it was striking, and I noticed it. And I kept looking around for birds. And I never saw any birds. The only explanation I can come up with, if you got a better one, then please share it with me. The only explanation I can come up with is that the people eat all the birds,
I guess that's it.
or otherwise kill them for some reason. Eric, when did you lose your virginity? I was 18.
I was around the same age. I was 16 or 17. I know I didn't ask. They didn't ask me, but
Yeah, I was at the mall. I sat down on the counter. I turned around. I did my shopping and went home. I didn't realize I had left it at the mall until I got home. And I was just like, well, fuck it. There's no point in going back for it now. You think I'm right about eating the eating of the birds? Okay, thank you. Email answer.
right? I do too.
Germany's black. What type is Rachel now? She's an INFJ, the same type she's always been.
Yeah.
Type doesn't change, Maxie Kim. Type doesn't change.
No, I made a SI reflection to a song that he was singing at the time. He's like, "You're not ENFJ, you're INFJ," and I was like, "Oh," and he explained that it was because I made the correlation of the song
she
to-
persistently was able to draw specific examples and give details about them from her past,
Mhm.
even though that wasn't her main modality of understanding things at all.
Yeah.
That's how I determined ultimately she was not an ENFJ, she was
Yeah.
an INFJ.
Yep. Yeah, you were singing "Don't You Want Me, Baby," and I told you a story about a time in college that I had.
Mm-hmm.
You're only time in college that I had.
Thanks, darling. Yeah, she's not an ISFJ. She has way too little SI for an ISFJ. I dated ISFJ for a long time, and my mom was an ISFJ, and my oldest friend is an ISFJ. She's no ISFJ. Right now, we're both hungry, and neither of us feels like dealing with the food question. I'll make some burgers. I will start the coals.
Oh, then we got macaroni and cheese in the fridge.
Okay, well, I'll cook the burgers.
Okay.
Live question. What type am I? Well, what did people say in the comments on that video, Raphael? I didn't even look at all the comments. What did most people think you were? Is it worth tending to your fifth or your blind function ever, or are they by nature lost causes? It's worth tending to your fifth. It's certainly not a lost cause. It's just, it's something that you don't really frame up and down with. So it's like, it's hard for me to necessarily apply NI in my own life, but I can apply it to specific questions. Like, I have no problem using introverted intuition to tell you which of these two poems is good or bad, for example. ESTP, ENFJ, INFJ. Alcohol brings out my Annie. You might be an ESTP. That's certainly feasible, Raphael. I mean, ESTP is certainly plausible. What do you remember Raphael? The typing of Raphael?
He got INFJ, I thought.
Yeah, but he's questioning it a lot. He thought he was ENTP.
Okay.
I think ESTP is possible.
Well, maybe it could be his dual for sure.
You're not an ENTP, I don't think.
Spacey thought that the ESFP was the dual, so we could have gotten it wrong, and he could be an ESTP. He doesn't seem like an ENTP to me, though.
Hot rasp and an INFJ give you PTSD? Probably somebody with borderline personality disorder gave you PTSD. Those are the people who really do a lot of harm. How do you use introverted intuition to determine whether it's good or bad? There's no objective metric have to be established, then it's on a subjective basis. It's not subjective, but it's also not reducible. So that's the reality of NI that people have trouble accepting, is that there can be something that's objective and rational, but not reducible. Well, if it's not reducible, how can you prove it's not subjective? Well, you can't, but it doesn't change the fact that it's objective. Subjective things are, it's like, put it this way. Whether or not you like, this is a different kind of area of thing, but it's kind of similar. Whether or not you like macaroni and cheese is a subjective matter. But whether or not the macaroni and cheese is properly cooked and everything is not. That's an objective matter. So if you have two people make macaroni and cheese and one of them doesn't cook it all the way and doesn't mix the cheese stuff in there properly or not, then and the other one cooks it properly, well, one of them is better than the other one, right? It's easy to understand that. And the reason is not just, I mean, in that instance, it may be reducible. Well, the pasta's undercooked here. It's not more wishy-washy bullshit. That's a very NI countervaluing thing, Sky Gear. Because, like, most important questions, if you're dealing with the world at large, the larger the scope of the world you're attempting to deal with, the more significant it is as to whether or not you have introverted intuition in the mix. It's like, to the extent that song I made works and is appealing to people and they like it, it's because it resonates on an NI level. That is something that works and is likable or whatever. To the extent that people don't like it, it's because it triggers them on an SI level and something that they don't like. So things are either like if I were to make a song that was purely an expression of my subjectivity, I would have left that song at its original length, which is like 3 minutes and 30 seconds, with an extra verse in it and an extra whatever, because I like those things and I think that they're great and I want to just play them again, you know. But it would have been the poor choice. The song maintains the person's interest and enjoyment through the duration of it and no further. I think the person who's most likely to give you PTSD is yourself. Well, I mean, look, people people are traumatized by their experiences. As to exactly who is responsible for the trauma, is it the person who's staying there and being traumatized, or is it the person imposing the trauma? Well, I mean, the only person to reasonably blame is the person who's engaging in a toxic fashion. Although you can, in fact, point out that the person who's being the recipient of the toxicity has some obligation to either, leave the situation or stop complaining about it, I guess. But I mean, that's kind of a harsh understanding of things. Really, you should blame the person who's being toxic because they're the one who's being toxic. There's clear understanding of acceptable, good relationship behaviors and clear understanding of what comprises unacceptable or bad relationship behaviors. INFJs can be cruel, but the reason they're impactfully cruel primarily is that you don't expect it. So if somebody's constantly being snarky, you build up good defenses.
Yeah.
INFJs can pull the rug out from under you because most of the time they are letting you feel comfortable as though you don't need to put up defenses. And when you don't have defenses up and then you get surprised by something, it hurts a lot more than if you are expecting it.
It hurts me. I'm sorry.
It's okay, sweetie. Occasionally you said a couple of things, but that was when you weren't yourself.
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly.
What is the best way for an ENFP male to trigger love in a 45-year-old ISFJ wife? If you're already married and you want to trigger love, you've got a problem. If you're saying you want to reignite love or something like that.
Yeah, is that what you mean?
Well, you've both got SI in the mix, and I'm not sure how that plays out for ENFPs, but for ENTPs, it plays out as the longer you're with somebody, the more invested you feel in that person.
I wonder how SI does. Like, my dad's SI gets better when he's happy.
You are so inferior to me, I won't dignify your comment or response. Really? Who are you talking to?
But what would dignify the comment?
I don't know what he's talking about. Is narcissistic personality disorder always a delusion? Because I'm actually great. I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Happens.
Yeah. Good self-concept is not narcissism, obviously. If you feel good about yourself and you think like I'm a good person and all that stuff, then you're gonna feel pretty good about yourself. Hot rats, that's it exactly. When it comes to trust, I'm all in or all out. With INFJs, that doesn't seem to be the case. INFJs are slow to trust in general, I think.
That is a treat, they say.
The other thing that INFJs do is they are very interfacey, very FE, until to get the person to reveal who they are so that the INFJ can make a decision about that person. But they don't reciprocate that. They don't necessarily want to reveal who they are so you can make a decision about who they really are, right? And it's at the end of that evaluation process, then you find yourself, if you do pass INFJ probation, then the INFJ is suddenly going to feel rather insecure because they've not given you much of their real self yet. They've been maintaining control over this decision-making process. Baby, don't be sad. It's fine, darling. It's fine. We're great. You and I are great. We have no problems at all. You know why? Because I'm super, super intuitive like that. I can figure all that stuff out.
You are super, super into it.
Email Anthrax. I just sent you a psychokinetic uppercut. How do you defend against that?
True.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. What's wrong with your hair?
It's sticking out.
It does stick out a little bit right there.
Can you cut it, please? What I'll do is I'm going to put it in a ponytail.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Octavio Silva.
Or where you think you can like fix it is driving me bananas. They say that if you make the underneath.
Stand up and put your head, dude. Stand up so that this is to the back of you. I'll make the camera so you can see us.
Yeah,
Well, actually,
probably.
I'll bring you. Will move here instead of moving the camera. Move us instead of the camera. So TE smart.
Okay.
Okay, no, that's good. I'll have to lift it up though. But here, you stand right here. There. Okay.
Yes.
Now, let me find the scissors. Here they are.
Yeah. I know. It's okay. Don't worry. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That picture frame. I want to put like a weight in it.
Okay, so you don't like this part right here sticking out.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Although sometimes I think I talk too much about me and forget about the other person. Oops, wait, I'm doing that now. Okay, we're gonna snippity snap. We're gonna snoppity snoop. We're gonna snappity snow. Do this thing here.
They say to make it collapse is to make the underneath the most shortest part.
Okay.
What do you think? You think it looks good?
I think I need to get some more underneath here. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
Maybe it should take you to a barber, baby. I'm afraid I'm going to be butchering this thing. I'm doing
No,
the
you
best I
did pretty
can.
good. No, you're
There's
good.
one little piece. Let me get this
That's
bone.
good. Yeah. You did good. I'll go with you to the barber next time, okay?
All right.
You did good. Thank you very much. That is not an easy request. Thank you
No
very
problem. I
much.
appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. Look how nice it looks. Didn't you do such a good
It's a
job?
little bit better, but it's still messed up a little bit.
No, it's okay.
I still see that it pokes out of the bottom there and back there. Let me see. Just look. Maybe just look with the. See, like, wait, turn up it.
You can use that to help.
I got some underneath part.
Ooh.
Yeah, next time we'll go to the barber. We should go there like tomorrow or something.
Okay. I
Because
think
I can't do that. That's hard. It's surprisingly difficult. It seems like cutting hair would be easy. Cutting my hair is easy because it's just
it's really
one.
not so bad though.
It's just one concept, you know. But cutting
No, but it's
cutting
really,
a girl's hair is a lot harder.
I'm happy. I don't know.
Thanks, darling.
Yeah, I'm not.
What time
I'm
is it?
not
6:30
asking for
already.
perfection. It's easier with my hair if it's a little bit messy anyway. Thank you very much for that. You did a great job.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see here.
Yeah, you did.
Don't ever come back to my dimension. There's a distinct lack of ENTJ talk on this channel. ENTJs are busy. They don't come around here that much.
Yeah.
They're too busy doing shit to talk about how they do shit.
That'd be a fun thing to do. Go to the barber though. It's been so long.
We give SJs, TJs, TPs, FPs, FJs, NJs, SPs, and NPs, but is there a word to talk about these groups? Those are the words that we use to talk about those groups. SJs means ISTJ, ESTJ, ISFJ, and ESFJ. And that awkward flip stage. I hate that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They would listen anyway.
It looks good.
They wouldn't listen anyway, I'm sure it means. I'm living in my shadow. It's lurking in my shadow. My shadow is my shadow. I psychokinetically move myself to the border of the observable universe and push every matter into one black hole to see the universe shrink itself into itself in my spacesuit. Then what do you do after that? And you just sit there and go, well, that's over. Hot rats. Do they live up to the stereotype? Needs a word.
Oh, that breeze is nice.
Not bad, but amateurish and inefficient. I crash multiple multiverses together and you at the center and you get crushed along with your measly black hole. You guys are doing war? You guys are having war? I shoot an arrow at you.
Yeah, me too.
We both shoot arrows at you.
Mm-hmm.
Are they Cupid's arrows? Well, you'll find out.
That's the thing.
That's how you win a war. You shoot the main leader of one of the armies with Cupid's arrow.
Does your friend forget a lot of people's names, but are very charming? I think ENTJs are very charming. My boss, I really thought he was a great guy to talk to.
I used a slingshot and I hit Sky Gear right in the middle of the forehead.
Good thing you had one of those like suction cups at the end. So it was only like the boing.
Yeah, you're lucky. The unlucky thing is the suction cup is covered in poison.
Oh.
The lucky thing is it's the kind of poison you have to ingest.
Oh, that is very lucky.
Don't lick the suction cup.
Don't.
Oh yeah, you faint and die. First you faint, then you die? Oh. It's okay if you just faint. Let's see. I trap Raphael in his own existential quandary. Yeah, I think that's how you win that, Raphael. Why do INFJs expect you to be open, but they themselves don't open up? It drives me insane, you hypocrites.
Ask the right questions, you'll get the right answers.
sometimes we don't. I don't think like. Okay, so like today, my dad, he's an ENFP. Or yesterday, I talked to him, and I know he's single and he's dating, but I don't really want to know. Like, I don't want to know, so I don't ask.
I do. I want to know. I want to know if your dad's slaying.
Next time.
You know, the older you get as a male, the bigger the advantage you have in general.
It's not.
If you're going after your same age peer group. I'm gonna start the Coles.
It's more that I just don't.
Okay. The thing is, Fenty Deluxe, INFJ, it feels like that way to an action type because action types are busy taking action, which means we're saying things if we're an ego.
Yeah, they do say that in contrarian relations and socionics that the extrovert gets the short end of the stick. I don't know. It was written by an ENTP, so I'm not really sure. Yeah, right. I'm not really sure that's factual either, but we are. It's so Fenty. It's like I don't know. I don't know what to say. Hey, Dark Phoenix. I don't know why it's such a one-sided thing because I feel like it's one-sided also, but. Like and with like his dating, it's not that I don't want to. I want him to be like happy. That's all. Like I hope he meets like a really nice woman and that it's like going really well. But it's just like not in my top priorities. This is like talking right now. I don't feel like talking like very much. So sorry. To give the short end of the sticks to ENFPs. I'm not friends with many. My dad is one, and he's a great dad. But I don't know. I'm sorry. You know, I just sometimes think like my dad. It's just like we were able to talk about music. He influenced me incredibly with music. I mean, I know of the Beatles because of my dad. So there was like this friendly like kinship there, but we had the same sense of humor. But like he has no interest in like spirituality beyond like a church. So that's something that we don't talk about. Or like we don't see eye to eye on. Yeah, my dad is an ENFP. He was a great dad. He is a great dad, but like growing up having an ENFP dad was really fun. Dating as an 18-year-old guy is a minefield in my experience. Dating is, I don't even know. Dating as a young kid is, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it really. Because like I thought it was fun. When I was 18, I had a little money, so I would go out and I would do stuff. And we would go like to the city and just, I don't know, we would get. No, he's not dismissive of spirituality. He's dismissive of like new age. Like he's not going to meditate. But he would prescribe meditation to me though. You know, but he's not going to meditate himself. He doesn't take any drugs, but he drinks beer. He likes wine a lot. Where I'm a weed smoker. See, it's contrarian. It's good for like. It's good for friendships and like for bringing up like topics of like ENFPs and INFJs can talk a lot about pop culture just in general. And I think that's a great method of them interacting. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. If they want to, they can. Yeah. Hookup culture didn't appeal to me either. Hanging here. Haha, no, like Eric was saying, mainly younger girls take an interest in you, but then you go on a sex offenders register. Well,
I don't think I was saying that.
I didn't interpret it that way at all. I never heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was translated a little bit.
I was saying that
differently.
as men get older, they have an advantage when dating their same age peers. So in other
Same
words,
age,
a
yeah.
40-year-old man has more dating capital than a 40-year-old woman. A 50-year-old man has even more dating capital than a 50-year-old woman, and so on. Because as men and women get older, first of all, men die sooner, so there becomes increasingly fewer men, period. But also, it's just the way that just sort of the dynamics of human reproduction or something.
Yeah. Things are changing and stuff, but yeah, that's the overall experience. I feel lucky to be with you.
I feel lucky to be with you. And I wanted to address that thing we were talking about before a little bit more too, which is the solution to that in general, if you're not the INFJ in that dynamic, is to turn it on them by just being naturally that transparent, like I am. And then here's the thing: if you're fully transparent, then and you let them have all the information they want, then when they do decide that they want you, then they incur the burden of it, because all of a sudden they feel like they're not sure if they're worthy of you. All of a sudden, it's like initially the INFJ goes in thinking, is this person the right person? Are they good enough, and do they have any qualities that are going to inevitably kill us over time? But
there seems to be a lot of mansplaining in this chat right now, and I have to say, I'm not feeling it.
You're not feeling the mansplaining?
No, not at all. Transparent is good. I like transparent. I don't care. I got the any all the time as a kid. My dad and I are pals. Like, that's it. My dad was always like simpatico, because I'm a lot more like his side of the family.
2020 has been a bit of a grand shit show.
Mansplaining. Men explaining women things to women is mansplaining. So I have to be taught by a man what happens with women. I'm a woman. I've been thinking about it my whole life. So that's why I was saying it's getting a little bit mansplaining in here. I would like to change the subject. That's it.
All right, guys, let's talk menstruation. How should a woman menstruate?
Thanks, Running Fox. I'm not a huge fan of the word mansplaining either, but if I have to use it for the purpose, I will. I am 35. I am a beginning millennial, so. Mansplaining is offensive, and that's why it's a term. Stupid modern terms, mansplaining. El Lobo Feroz, how old are you? I have a feeling you're a pretty modern person. I don't even know what third wave feminist means. I don't even believe in 34. I'm 35. And
Yeah, she's older than you, a little bit.
yeah, and I believe that phrase can be used in that way. It's not fun to hear. Do you want me to be telling how your penis should work? And how your prostate is the number one thing that you should work on when you get older. They say that you should push on it a lot, and that's what like makes you explode.
But to properly mansplaining is to say like this. Okay, I think the problem here is probably he's not dealing with his prostate enough.
Exactly.
You know, men need a lot of prostate stuff, and this guy, the reason he's being so fussy with me, a little Feroz, probably prostate related.
Boom.
That's proper woman's planning.
Yes, that's woman's planning. Yes. So men have probably been dealing with woman's planning, which is like maybe nagging or whatever for a long, long time. I'm gonna go make a sandwich. I'm not saying that I don't believe in the fact that as I get older, my reproductive system isn't viable. But I also know that because I go to a gynecologist, that my eggs are actually pretty shitty. And that the chances of me wanting to have a child, I would have to do a lot of different science stuff. And so, you know, that's also a part of my life, not just aging. So I don't want to have a man tell me what it's like to age. I love men. I mean, the people who were offended were the ones that I said that I wasn't comfortable with the chat going in a mansplaining way. And so that's why. But no, you're not understanding the definition of mansplaining, IADLS. Well, to be fair, if a man explains how women are to you, it doesn't mean it's automatically mansplaining if they have evidence and valid justifications behind it. Those are justifications that could be leveled for both men and women. It doesn't have to do with just one gender. That could be with both. So it's a behavior, not just something that is biologically different. Yeah, like I don't even know. Really want to have this debate though. Rachel, you're holding your own in this one. Thanks, Sam Smith.
Look, nobody's trying to censor anybody or be groupist here. There's a phenomenon whereby a short person comes up and tells me about the problems of being tall. the same analogous relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. It is meaningful to point out that when hearing people go up to deaf people and talk to them about the challenges they face being deaf, yes, I'm tall. When short people go up to tall people and say, here are the challenges of being tall, when men go to women, here are the challenges of having menstruation or something, that it's ridiculous, right? Okay, but Benji Deluxe, remember, what matters is what we're trying to justify here. Nobody's trying to justify that you're wrong because of this, because you're a man. Nobody's trying to justify that you should be silenced because of this.
No.
She's just saying it's annoying, just like, no, I'm not mansplaining, because I'm not saying I'm not saying like, here's the challenges of having a uterus or something. That would be mansplaining. Okay. If I am just explaining conceptually why it's reasonable to point out the absurdity of the mansplain dynamic, no matter where it occurs, whether it's between tall people, short people,
yeah. So that's like something like me being like, you should be off of the, like, for me as a woman to tell a guy who drinks beer, hey, you know what? Like, you shouldn't drink beer because it makes your dick not hard every time we have sex. Like, what? What? That's like, no.
Well, no, because we are talking about how we select women, not how women should be. Jesus is simple. Well, look, no, what she's interpreting it as, we're discussing the disadvantage that women have as they age in terms of their dating capital. And so in that regard, she's saying,
Oh, yeah, I definitely know my dating capital goes down as you go, as like men get older and women get older.
So look, you may not like the term, but that's an indication of your own sort of groupism, where you associate something with some kind of feminist stuff, and you assume it necessarily is bad because it's associated with that. But that's fine. The term, nevertheless, refers to a specific dynamic. Forget mansplaining, right? No, Fenty Deluxe, because in that instance, it's referring specifically to the mechanics I've explained. But specific from men to women about women's stuff.
Yes.
But the mechanics apply multiple places, what I'm saying. So it's reasonable to have a term for it if the mechanics occur.
Yes, because it was mostly men who were saying those things. I just was saying that I wasn't appreciating it, and that was all. It could have just turned to a different subject.
Well, but you said, here's the thing. A lot of people have groupist shit going on. Is that rude, Raphael?
Are you a female?
That's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous that look, just because some people misuse the idea of mansplaining in some sort of aggressively feminist dystopic future you imagine, doesn't mean that we ought not use the term, because it means something specific. It's not true that men mostly select women. It's actually true that that men pursue women and they make the choice ultimately.
True.
Sometimes women make it known to the man that they're open to being pursued, as Rachel did with me, but nevertheless, it was left up to me to do the actual pursuit.
Yeah.
Now, be nice to Rachel, you goddamn 21-year-old males.
Yeah, get ready, because aging for men is not all as it's cracked up to be. Eric is a very lucky guy. A lot of you will be married soon. Eric, as a tall white male, you're blinded by your privilege. Let Rachel speak. Huh? Eric is 6'4". I'm answering for him. I don't even know what it's like for 18-year-old men at 18-year-old as a female. I know I was awkward as hell. I mean, I still had a lot of friends. Then if you never marry, you never marry, you know? No one has to marry. They choose to. Or, you know, in some religions they have to, you know. We're in America, and usually in America and American traditions, you can choose to get married or not. You don't have to. We're in the age of Aquarius. Things are backwards now. Thanks, Ella Bofaros. Marriage is a scam. Discuss. I mean, I don't even know. I studied like marriage and relationships in college, and marriage is actually a very complex thing. It's not just like, you know, Jane and Harry sitting in a tree, KISSING. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes baby in a baby carriage. You know, the market can affect whether people are having babies or not. The environment where people are living can affect if they're, you know, getting married or not. Like, whether your parents were married and stayed together can affect you. There's a lot of different things. So, marriage contract is absurd. I don't know. Like, there's something to that is nice, you know, but Rachel Hader, you're only bitter about this because because you're 35, you don't have kids, and your value will completely gone in 10 years. You don't have anything to keep a mate a long term. Smiley face. Thanks. That's really sweet of you. Where's our wrench people? Yeah, seriously, Rachel Hader. What's your real name? I know my life. You could tell me more about it if you'd like. Unfortunately, I don't have my tea with me. It could be Cloud. Cloud has a secret crush on me. So, it's Cloud. I feel a big, fat account ban incoming. Do you, Fenty? Tea with me. Thanks. There should be a segment called Tea with Me. Like, don't you think that I don't know. I was gonna talk about a rap song. Is good. Well, you know, if the name matches the feelings. It's Cloud. Where are the wrenchers? I mean, I don't even know, like, where the mouse is right now. Okay, there it is. This doesn't even mean. I meant to ask if they've tried it. Oh, thanks. I'm not apologizing for my views. I am who I am. I know myself very well. I just don't have to have other people telling me. Like that's it. It doesn't have to be sex. I'm not a huge fan of when women tell me what to do either. It was just a time and period where the scales were a little bit tipped, and I was just hoping for maybe a conversation that would have been a little bit more balanced, more gender neutral, if you were to put a word on it. Rachel Hader says, strike me down, I will return. Well, you know who did return is Mr. Peter Peacock, because it's dinner time for him and he knows where the food is at. And let me tell you, he has some plumage. He's molting a bit, but I would suspect that it's time for that to happen. It's annoying either way. Just don't make it about sex. If don't talk about their age. If you want to, try to make it positive. But like most women know about themselves already. Unless it's like a bad habit, like, hey, you're always like picking at your nails. Is everything okay? Or, I noticed that you're talking a lot about Jill. Have you talked to Jill? That kind of stuff. I like sex too, Sam Smith. Rachel Hader. He's busy typing celebrities and watching Friends while he should be building his revolutionary typology system. Okay. Did you tell him that? Yeah, it is not exclusive to men. Hell no. Hell no. Peter, pumpkin eater. I don't have much for you, Peter. Here. Okay, Pete. It's okay. Here, come here. Here, Peter. Peter is our peacock who lives with us. He comes for food, and we cheer him on. He's a beautiful peacock. Sometimes he takes walks with us. INTJ don't attack. So who do you think is his intellectual equal? You should see the chat right now. It's very funny. Thank you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Is there mustard and stuff on it?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Mmm.
We actually have a we're gonna have named Rachel Hader.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I need to be with my intellectual equal.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to be with another ENTP. Look, there's no difference with Cloud. Cloud says she's not deep enough. Hater really wants all the smoke. It's thinly veiled FE polar trolling. Told you why I'm doing this. Eric needs to be with his intellectual equal, not this vapid woman.
Nice. I like to see Haterade too. They definitely are drinking the Haterade. I get it. I've been there. I've been the person who's been the hater. So
Let me ask you this, Rachel Hater. Are you my intellectual equal?
that's a good question. How did I not ask that?
That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of here, Sam Smith.
Fenty Deluxe, you could be his wife if I'm not his wife.
Yeah. If Rachel gets gender reassignment surgery and I have to, then I won't be able to be with her anymore, then maybe.
Oh my God.
Rachel, I'm pretty sure that Rachel actually improves Eric a lot. Yes, she does.
Oh, and he improves me too.
We're very good for each other.
Mm-hmm. Like, he's always, like, been really encouraging and honest with me and positive mind framing, and that actually does help my Ennie a lot, because I take things a lot less seriously when I'm around Eric, because he's so funny and life is so funny, and like, I don't know, like, it becomes neutral, some things just become neutral to me, and like, I'll see a butt in the sky and I'm like, holy crap, I haven't noticed like a butt in the sky since I was a kid.
Okay, Rachel Hater, I got some bad news for you. You're too smart for me. I'm not your intellectual equal, so that won't work.
Oh.
I'm not that smart.
What's Mensa?
The Genius Club.
Nice, Fenty.
You're going to soak up all the knowledge from Eric. Boy.
Rachel Hater does want the Eric D.
You're going to have to be a big knowledge sponge, because I got a lot of knowledge, Fenty Deluxe.
A lot of knowledge. This is live streaming. We've only been on for 2 hours, and I've been doing half of the talking.
Well, you've been doing most of the work there. You're obviously guessing it should be you. So, why do you think my relationship would be better if I were with somebody who was more like abstractly intellectual or something? It's not like Rachel's not intellectual. She's not as much of a fancy talk guy as me.
No, I like to get straight to the point.
Yeah.
I like for a lot of people to understand what I'm saying.
I mean,
I parse out, because I care, I do.
I mean, here's the thing. I've long dissed the idea of IQ in general, but so the reason for this is because in some ways Rachel's smarter than I am in some circumstances. In some ways I'm smarter than she is in some circumstances.
Oh yeah.
But let's just, for the sake of argument, concede your point. Okay, just for the sake of argument that that I'm smarter than she is, or that she's not my intellectual equal. What is it that makes you think I would be in a better relationship if I were with somebody who did meet that criterion? Again, just for the sake of argument. I don't watch any Sex in the City.
I do like Sex in the City, but a lot of people do. It's a good show. And signature sense is a thing in the female world. actually, it's in the world. It's become a real trend having a signature scent. A lot of men wear cologne and they go in there having for a signature scent. I'm telling you, I know.
But our question though is, why would it be a better relationship for me if I had less inclusion of, say, popular media in my life? Like, for example, I periodically watch little bits of this show called Love, which is a TV show that was on Netflix, and I don't watch it with her, but when I come in and it's on, I enjoy the bits of it I see. It's good. In general, I like almost everything she watches. You know,
Yeah,
I won't watch Felicity. She will
No.
watch Felicity. That I don't want to watch that. But basically, we have the same taste in media. So if you think her taste in media is banal, you think my taste in media is banal as well. It's great and a very unusual experience for me. I've never been with somebody before that I did like their media.
Same.
It's not like
It's
it's
not.
not like I'm walking in Sex and the City is on all the time
Mm-mm.
at all. It's
No,
just-
and I don't think I would actually put you through that. If I was watching it and it was on and you wanted to watch it with me, sure. I actually think it's a good show because it's written well, not because it's about women. Absolutely. Why I like Sex and the City is because of the good writing, the good set, and the great fashion. That's why I like it, not because it's about women doing things in the city.
I know Peter.
I like that voice. Who is that? That's Liza Minnelli?
Samantha. A lot of people do that for Samantha's voice.
It sounds like Liza Minnelli.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was trying to interpret.
Why should I be focusing on doing that?
That was C.S. Joseph. He sounds like this.
You know,
Oh my
you're right. That
goodness.
is a C.S. Joseph voice too. Yeah.
I just love getting money from people.
I mean,
These burgers are great, baby.
thanks, Darren.
Mm-hmm.
No, Rachel Haver, the thing is, I'm happier than I've really ever been. Feel more complete, content, and so forth than I've ever been before.
My intelligence is on the lines of film and TV shows that are intelligent.
I mean, that's one of the other things that Rachel's helping me do is be more aware of the fact that I have a limited number of projects I can work on, a limited amount of time in the day that I can devote to things. Yesterday, I devoted my time towards my song Animal Party, which I feel good about.
Yeah.
I have a big stack of projects that are in the works, and some of them.
Something smart, Rachel. You get the elbow furrows.
Yes, Rick and Morty are intelligent. I mean, the show's intelligent.
It is.
It's a very smart show.
We actually LOL at that show.
Mm-hmm.
Redeem myself and take my hater down.
The thing is, if you think that somehow I'd be more on point if I were not in this relationship, it's just not correct. It's just I'm right about cognitive functions. It's the best. I watched at least 15 live streams where you look as though you're going to cry because of Rachel. Well, I mean, that's true. If we want to ignore all of the other live streams, you can cherry pick some data. Those were times when prior to Rachel getting her medication,
Things were
worked out.
tough.
things were hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like she has a mental
Me
illness
too. Yeah.
that was not in remission at the time,
No, it wasn't.
and that made it difficult. When it is in remission, as it is now, because she's medicated properly, I haven't had, to the extent that I have any negative feelings, she comforts and makes me feel better. She's not responsible for them. And also, unlike somebody who has accountability avoidance disorder, she feels terrible about it. You know, she feels terrible about her own making me feel
I
feel
hate
bad.
it.
You know, she hates it.
I really do.
And I can see the
Because some of the stuff
legitimacy
I don't
the
even
guilt.
remember. That's
The
the that's part of the illness, is that like I get so crazed that I don't remember what I'm saying, so it's insanity.
Hi, Peter.
See, that's Peter. That's who I was
You
feeding
want more
before.
food, Peter?
I gave him all the Fritos.
Oh.
That was left. There's like nothing. You know, crumbs. But I don't.
Well, he's had enough. He's fine.
Yeah. He's just showing off.
So I appreciate though. I appreciate when a hater comes in and is willing to make their arguments at least and name themselves as such. Right.
Yeah.
That's to be commended. You're not trying to pretend like you're coming in here nice and then being all like, yeah.
Yeah.
At least
I
you're being
appreciate that
upfront
too.
about it, and I appreciate that. Whose argument is trash? Okay, well, I had to sit down again. It's hard to sit it down. It's incredibly clever.
When I was yeah.
It might be in this fourth season occasionally a little too clever for its own good. Like it goes so fast. It's like I'm catching up. I'm behind catching up with the jokes as it's already moved on to the next thing.
Thanks, James. I appreciate that. You disapprove.
I think all NTPs can relate to Nick's variety of nihilism. I don't think you're a subverted parasite. I didn't say you were a subverted parasite. If you were a subverted parasite, oh, I see what you're saying. You're agreeing with me. You're agreeing with me that you're not a subverted parasite, that you're out here saying what you want to say. Well, okay, but the notion that my relationship is preventing me from achieving my true self is incorrect. I've failed to achieve my true self for my whole life, I guess. So, not just Rachel.
Thanks, baby.
Mm-hmm. So, am I currently achieving that? Achieving what? Changing the world? I mean, I do want to be president, but I also recognize that that's a tall hill to climb.
I support you, whatever you do.
No, I don't think that's Cloud, Erin.
I support you, whatever you do.
Thank you, darling.
Of course.
You're a wonderful lady.
Thank you, baby.
Actually, I don't think that's Cloud, Erin. If it's Cloud,
Yeah, I'd like to see who you think it is.
well, like the chat at 7:13 p.m. I don't think it's Cloud because I've watched at least 15 live streams where you look, let's just say, as though you're going to cry because of Rachel. Tell me again how you're happier than you've ever been. it feels like native English speaker. The response to it could be. I have to see more chat from the person. I mean, I appreciate your positive regard, Rachel Hader. Unfortunately, it's just not that simple, you know. Rachel's not inhibiting me at all. It's kind of crazy to think that she is. Granted, when she was going through medication changes and stuff, that was rough. It was really rough, and we almost broke up the last time. I was right at my limit, but when she's good, she's great. You know, had no problems at all. It's we get along so well. It's so easy. I've never been in such a compatible relationship before. And I'll also tell you this, that for some reason, people who don't like Rachel anyway conclude that she's less intelligent than she actually is. She's not a dumb woman, and she's extremely intuitive. Just because somebody's not verbose or big wordy doesn't mean they aren't smart. She understands cognitive functions really well. She really does. What personality is Rick Sanchez? He's an ENTP. But unlike real ENTPs, he's got too much TE to be a real ENTP. What do you think of MGTOW? Well, I mean, it's the He-Man Woman Haters Club. I think it's ridiculous. I think the idea of deciding or accepting to be single and not be tied to a woman or something is perfectly fine. But if that's your decision, it's having a group that is all about that is totally unnecessary, and it almost always manifests as just basically He-Man Woman Haters Club. You know, it's like men who've gotten burned or been screwed over by women and generalizing about women and talking about how terrible they are and stuff like that. That's true, Running Fox. That's the other thing. Knowers are always going to display somewhat less intelligent than action deliberators to the extent that people display intelligent. And the reason for that is because they're less likely to say stuff. That's true, Raphael. That's true. I find but the thing is I don't want to actually be with a girl that dumb. I just want her to sort of play along at being dumb sometimes, you know, because I want, in that way you can have the best of both worlds. You don't want an actual dumb girl, but you like a girl who acts like she's dumb during sex, you know. Like, I'm too stupid to realize what's happening to me. That's very, very big turn on, obviously. Da. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Rachel's a regular human being like everybody else. I hate this talk about intelligence. It's so silly. Like, why is intelligence so important? Why is IQ so important? It's like I do dumb things, I do smart things. Certain moments I'm smart, certain moments I'm dumb. It's less an attribute than it is a descriptor of my behavior after the fact. Well, there are good guys and there are bad guys. And there are crooks and criminals. And there are doctors and there are lawyers. And there are folks
I went
like
to the
you and me.
bathroom without your help.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, you hear that? Rachel managed to go to the bathroom without my help. She is really you are really learning, aren't you?
Does that say anything about my IQ?
Yes, darling. It says it's getting higher by the moment. That's wonderful.
I was tuning in a little bit. Oh, Capille, my lover. Oh.
Oh, my poor kitty. Yeah, it's so wonderful and true and good and her.
She's my loverly cat.
I just got told I'm racist for saying all lives matter. Wow. That's why you need to be
My
transracial like me. I'm
love.
immune to accusations of racism because I'm
Oh.
transracial.
Dear, what had happened?
Oh, my pobre PNP.
Oh, I know. Kitty friend adventure.
My poor cat is constantly breaking her legs. It's weird. It's like,
I love you, Daddy and Mommy love you so much.
what is
Oh.
Rachel has no race, I believe. I'm
No,
transracial.
I've become transgender through our sexual encounters.
You've become transgender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bodily fluid, I believe, is just like.
So what gender are you now? Male or female or something in between?
I
You
meant
mean transracial?
transracial.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
transracial. You know I'm not great with words.
Right, yeah. She's become transracial too.
Yeah, I feel very, very Asian lately by feng shui and wanting to clean.
And what I've learned is that transracial is actually contagious, which is why we started wearing masks during sex. Just so we don't spread any more germs.
Nope.
No, transracial means I switch race. I'm fluidly transracial. It means what race I am depends on the day. Today, I'm actually Caucasian. It's a weird day. Normally, I'm not Caucasian.
No, it's true.
One of the races I'm rarestly. But today, I am Scottish. Scottish from Scotland.
Oh, that's what you're talking about, mutton.
That's why I was wearing a dress earlier.
Oh. Is that your kilt? Or you just like wearing skirts? Scottish guys can do that.
Well, remember, I am transgender too. I go from slightly womanly to super manly and back again.
True.
But, you know.
Oh yeah, that's true. You know what? I feel that too, though. There are some times where I'm more of the boyfriend and you're the girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like it.
Yeah. Like when you yell at me to get back in the kitchen and make you something to eat. Remember that. That was fun.
That is.
Why do Americans create these weird terms? What's a weird term we created? Diversification? Oh, transracial? Transracial is not a weird term. That's transracist of you. Don't be transracist. Black Lives Matter is so transracist because it assumes that people stay one race. God,
Right.
it's like my life matters even when I'm not black.
Right. Look at those facial expressions.
I think intelligent and stupid are groupist. I tend to agree with you, actually. They're ones I'm guilty of. Rachel wears a strap on with Eric, confirms she does not.
Nope.
She does not wear a strap on.
I do not.
But She is going to put something up my butt.
Mm-hmm.
hmm She is going to do that. We are
Yes.
going to go get a drumstick from
Yep.
Guitar Center one of these days.
I'm going to be
Soon.
as soft and gentle as I can. I want as much communication during it as well. I want you to be comfortable. That's my purpose, really, for it to go as smoothly and as comfortably as possible. We want you to feel good.
Yeah, I would like to push on the prostate. Hopefully, there's like some little bit of goo clogged in there or something.
Yeah.
And it'll push it out, and then my prostate will be better.
Oh, I'm
for a
happy
while.
to hear
That's what I'm
that.
hoping. I'm
Yeah,
hoping,
me
you know.
too.
I've also heard that it is actually true that during sexual intercourse, if there's prostate stimulation in the male, that is desirable. So, we'll find out about that.
Yeah, we will.
James, you're right. That means I'm secretly gay.
Oh, sorry, baby. I did not mean to do that
That's
much.
okay. I'm not really worried about Rachel thinking I'm gay.
Should you be worried about me being gay?
I was never even crossed my mind.
Right?
Never even crossed my
Right?
mind.
I'm so feminine. Like, it's hard for you. Say you like the fur on my toes because it's the most manly thing about me.
Mhm.
I like that a lot.
That's the hardest diss a man could give a woman. Eric, what's the hardest diss? I don't understand.
You really interaction, so you're gonna stick stuff in your pooper. I can't not laugh at like comments about butts are funny and pee pee and doo doo and all that stuff.
No, she didn't just poke me.
Mm-mm.
Listen, she's not transgender. She's transracial.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think you have to be masculine to be gay. I agree with you. You could be feminine to be gay.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think in general, gay males tend to be more feminine than straight males. But there are some straight feminine males. There's,
We are all transracial, just some accepted and some do not.
there was that Saturday Night Live skit about the effeminate heterosexual.
That's so great.
Do you remember that?
No.
Uh,
I have to though now.
I don't remember. I think it was
I like
Dana-
the word pooper too.
Dana Carey. Is that his name? No, Dana.
Oh, Dana Carvey?
Dana Carvey played.
He's good. He's
played
one of my
the-
favorites in terms of SNL people. I thought he played a lot of good characters.
If you say you don't care if you think you're gay, you say you don't care if you love her or not in an asexual way. So, love language. I didn't say I don't care if she thinks I'm gay. I said I don't think she's worried about me being gay. Statistically, trans masculine men have a 30% higher chance of being straight.
That's interesting.
I'm sure you just made that up.
My dude.
You did?
You did.
My dude, you did. I did what? I said what? What do you think I said?
Master of Disguise was the worst movie. Yes, I agree with that. I'm saying SNL. He was good on SNL. I didn't say anything about his movies. That's a different thing. I like just.
No, I said I don't think she's worried about me being gay. I don't say I
No.
don't care if she thinks I'm gay.
No, I'm not worried.
Yeah. If she thought I was gay, I would care about that for sure. I'd be like, why do you think I'm gay? That's concerning. What is it about me that makes you think I'm gay? Or what are you trying to tell me? I'd definitely be concerned if she said to me, Eric, I want to talk to you about something. Yes, Rachel? Eric, I think you're gay. I say, why? Well, because you have sex with men all the time. That's gay?
You know,
That's gay? Come on.
when I was younger, and I heard that Elton John was gay. So, like, I was really young. I didn't really know what gay was, but that he was attracted to men. Basically, my grandma told me that he was attracted to men, but he was married to a woman. My mind, like, exploded. Like, I feel like it was on backwards. I was like, how does a person who is attracted to men, like, marry a woman? And I know it was for, like, show, and they were close, and he did love her as a person, but fuck.
It's not gay if the balls don't touch. Huh. I wanted to respond to something. What was it? I don't remember what I was going to say. Nakin and his boys would say, Back in high school, boys would say giving BJs to a guy wasn't gay 6 years later, and they're not storming West Hollywood.
That's great, Alexandra Cruz. That's good anecdotal story.
You traded copper! No, say you got those backwards. You should have capitalized the damn caps lock. A copper anus is more precious than people
Damn
would
caps
realize.
lock! You traded copper! It does change the whole thing.
Am I gay if when I was younger I had an erotic dream about a female alien which had a penis and was unaware of the existence of vaginas, and in that dream I sexually interacted with the penis? Yes. You're gay forever. Now, if you want to stop being gay, you need to go to my Gay Schick Shadel Center.
Ooh.
The Gay Schick Shadel Center uses the principle of Schick Shadel treatment for gay reparation.
Gay reparation?
Mm-hmm. Look, Schick Shadel teaches us this. If you want to quit smoking, what you got to do is smoke a whole carton of cigarettes in like one day, and then you'll never want to smoke again. You'll be so sick of them. If you want to quit drinking, you just got to give yourself alcohol poisoning. Then you'll be fine.
Yeah,
you won't want to drink anymore.
obviously, right? Everyone.
All right, so this is the Schick Shadel method. So what I'm telling you is we're going to open the Gay Reparation Schick Shadel Center, where gay people can just have gay sex for like 48 hours straight until they're sick of it.
Yeah.
And then they never want to have it again. If you watch, am I gay if I watch gay porn? Possibly, probably.
Yeah, possibly.
Probably. I don't know.
That is a
alcohol poisoning didn't work for you, huh? Well, maybe you should go to the Gay Reparation Schick Shadel Center then.
Oh my god, alcohol poisoning. Oh my god, it just hurts so
It's the
much.
worst.
Oh my god. I had alcohol poisoning in jail. Oh.
There's something you don't want to hear your girlfriend say.
It's true. Oh,
I had alcohol poisoning in jail.
what a nightmare.
That's what you should open with on your first date.
Alcohol poisoning. It was for my DWE.
Right.
Because I was in the drunk, so I was in the drunk tank.
The 3 in the drunk tank. Nice.
That's what they call the they threw me in the drunk tank. I thought I was going home. I thought, okay, they arrest me, they give me a ticket, and I thought that I'd go home. Oh no. I was in a holding cell for hours. And then I went into the drunk tank. And then I had alcohol poisoning. But I'm a better person for it, let me tell ya. I really am.
Hey, Eric, do you think sexuality is its inborn personality type? Yeah, probably. I mean, the thing is, most people can feel sexual stimulation from things that are not even gender related. Like, the body part responds to physical stimulation, regardless. So it's like a woman might get off on riding on a motorcycle because it's like a vibrator kind of, so it's important to remember that there's this sort of purely biological component that isn't even about gender. Is it conceivable that if you put men together long enough with no prospect of any women, that they might end up like humping each other? Possibly. So did that make them gay? I mean, the thing is sexuality inborn? Yeah, but it's not set in stone. It's like, you're inclined towards certain things and less inclined towards other things. My key thing about sexuality in general, dating capital, all relationship-y kind of men and women stuff is the same point, which is at the end of the day, you have to choose one person to be with. So it doesn't make any sense to be bisexual because you're only going to have one of them anyway. You just either be gay or straight. You may be gay right now because you're in a gay relationship. You might be straight right now because you're in a straight relationship.
Yeah.
But bisexuality implies that you're non-monogamy implicitly,
Yeah, well, I met someone who's bi who dated like 3 girls and 1 guy. So I was like, in my head thinking, I'm like, okay, so you prefer being with women over men over the fact that, because of the fact that you have one boyfriend. I mean, that might not be entirely true, but I just kind of made sense of it for myself that way. It's not.
Well, we can conclude she prefers women on a three badge to 1 cock ratio.
If we had to conclude.
Yeah, people don't fetishize cars and animals or feet. I feel like anyone can fetishize anything as long as the stimulus is higher than what's considered the norm. I mean, well, someone being born to have sex with men and fail to reproduce doesn't make sense to me. I've never seen it, don't want to see it. It's
2 girls, 1 cup, I've seen it, and it was disgusting. Also, I don't even know if it was real. It just, didn't seem real. Parts of it just didn't seem real.
I'm still justifying that I want to be on the receiving end.
I'm sorry that I gave you that. I didn't mean to upset you about the drunken jail thing.
That's fine. I didn't upset me. I just thought it was funny. I don't know what I would say about you. Just because someone is dating a gender doesn't mean they stop being attracted to their gender role. But being attracted to people is not the same thing as, maybe it is. I don't know.
But I can say that Gisele Bündchen, or whatever her name is a beautiful woman and not have sexual feelings towards her, right? She's just a beautiful woman.
I mean, look, everybody loves boobs.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, man, woman, everybody loves boobs.
Boobs.
So.
Yeah, babies do too. And baby don't know if it's a woman or a male at that point. They have no fucking clue. So, that's science.
Mm-hmm. That's science. Can't defeat science.
No, as it concluded in this live stream.
Nothing beats rock.
We talk about so much science in this.
Even gay men love boobs, right? Everybody loves boobs.
They want to touch them like all the time.
You know they're really getting off on it.
Mm-hmm.
Even gay men want to get off on the boobs.
Yeah. Lucky.
I'm lucky. I'm super lucky. You got some boobs. Let me tell you.
Thanks.
Just absolutely gorgeous, perfect. Like, you could be a boob model.
Thank you, baby.
Easily.
Wow.
You're a boob supermodel.
Thank you, babe.
A lot of gay men come from single mother households.
I've never heard that.
Titzer Life asks his hometown. Well, I know a gay man who loves female hentai porn, but he's gay IRL.
So maybe it's just the shapes and the actions that they're into more than it's like a fantasy. Not every fantasy comes to life, right? Would you say it does?
Well, I would point out this. Anime is the only kind of media you can watch where at a moment's notice, if you want to see the star of the show naked, you can. You know, it's like we watch, let's say, Community. Well, we can't see Britta naked and choking on somebody's schlong.
No, only if she.
But we can see Hinata that way.
Yeah.
We can see Tsunade.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's one of the advantages of anime. If you're into the characters, you know, you
They do that with Disney characters too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Seven Dwarfs humping like Snow White and stuff. Like I've definitely looked at that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's funny.
She wants it from all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly right. It's supposed to be stupid. Why am I being?
Shaft has best girls. Shaft. Well, you know, he's a badass.
Rick and Morty porno. I don't. They talk about in
Morty's porno.
Yeah, he's like.
Why do you have a porno account?
Yeah.
Why are you
he's
logging
like, besides,
in?
he's like, you talk to people with the same fetishes. And he's like, get off of me. I'm 14 and I jerk off. That's show.
Peter, you are
I
being
know.
very pushy tonight.
We need to feed ourselves.
Oh no, we just ate burgers.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have some.
Want some
Crunchies
pretzels?
too.
Sure. Here you go. There's some pretzels. I just gave Peter a couple of them because he's still here bugging.
Yeah.
Every night he comes around this time. It's like, you know, we can
You know
set our clocks by it.
what's gonna happen if we don't have anything for him?
And he squawks at us. He honks. Oh,
I know he does.
damn peacocks. You never knew that peacocks were so.
If you've ever masturbated your own fucking, you are the ultimate woke king queen form. Okay, can we take this like a different way? Anyone have any type questions? Because that was mentioned that we don't talk enough about typology when I'm in the frame.
Let's stop talking about masturbation. Let's start talking about castigation. Who would like to be castigated? I'm in a castigated mood. I don't think sexuality and psychology are that intertwined. Well, that's kind of crazy. Are you trying to get me to castigate you? I mean, obviously, animals have sexuality too, but that's the thing. It's like castigate means to finger wag at somebody in a more firm fashion. To lambast, you might say. To lambast is an extreme form of castigation. It goes scold. What's between scold and castigate? Well, scold, castigate, and then lambast. A dressing down, as it's sometimes called. Publicly impugning the reputation of someone. Oh, okay. Reprimand. Yeah, reprimand is above scold but below castigate. Censure.
As a child, I had a lot of trouble being reprimanded.
I would say that castigate, the closest synonym is censure. Like when
From-
Congress censures somebody.
Oh my gosh. This is such a high level word. I don't know that.
I know lots of words.
You do.
I'm a word knower.
You are.
If word knowing were a competition, I'd be highly competitive at it.
You be my winner. Can you be my word lover winner?
Yes.
Is that how fish kiss?
That's how I kiss.
Aww.
Censure is an official reprimand. Admonish, rebuke. Those are good synonyms too. Yeah. Castigate me.
Yeah.
Castigate me harder. I wonder if anybody has a castigation fetish.
I hope to see a feather of yours soon.
I get turned on by being censured by Congress. That'd be a weird fetish. You really have only rare opportunities to get turned on.
I'm gonna get an ice cream. Would you like one?
No, thank you. Oh, email at Anthrax. That's not castigation. That's castration. It's
I
different.
know.
Rule 34 artists. It's up to you. What's Rule 34? Jason, what good use of the word in a sentence. My ex ENTP had that fetish, most revolving around social issues. Too bad I don't have a fetish for talking about cognitive functions. I'd be constantly aroused. Yep, life's a funny thing. Sure enough. What's Rule 34? I want to know what Rule 34 is. Spanking? Rule 34 is spanking? Google it. God damn it, El Logo Feroz. You're making me do the work. Rule 34. Oh, if it exists, there must exist porn of it. That's Rule 34.
I've heard about that.
God, I hate the LA Times. So stupid.
I just
All
want
this
to
race
find
nonsense in the papers and the news and stuff. Oy, oy, oy. What are we going to do about all these race-minded people? Race is inherently divisive. There's no way around it. You just have to be transracial like me in order to avoid it. The FBI is going to track me for what? Rule 34? Why is it Rule 34? What are Rules 1 through 33? Mary is awake is a good example of what? Conspiracy theories? What's Mary is awake? What's Order 66? You must watch said porn? Order 66. Which Order 66? Try to hump it? Rule 66. Order 66. If left alone with something long enough, eventually you will try to hump it. Oh, well, maybe I could hump this pineapple.
I have to be there. I would feel so
No, I'm just saying,
it.
like, let's say you're left in a waiting room, right, for like days and days and days, and the only thing in there is like a pineapple and like water and like, food cube to feed yourself or something. And just wait a minute. Eventually, if you wait long enough, eventually you're gonna hump the pineapple, or if it doesn't rot first. Very Mary is very scary. Order 66 has been the Empire killed all the Jedi. Oh. Would it be cool to see a legit female ENTP make videos often? There aren't a lot of them. Aren't a lot of them. Well, yeah, that's order 67. After you've humped the thing, eventually you'll stick it up your butt. That's something I learned in Anal Records Anonymous. You consider yourself to be non-racial? That's trans-racist, Oliver. That's very trans-racist of you. I'm tired of your trans-racism. Well, put it this way. As somebody who makes stuff, I would say that I wouldn't consider it like, I wouldn't go like, yes, I've succeeded as an artist if what I've made makes somebody fat. I wouldn't necessarily say I failed, but it's not a goal of mine. It's not a way that I'm attempting to engage with the audience. I'm not trying to provoke them to touch themselves. So if they do that to whatever it is I make, that's fine. But I consider it outside of the realm of artistic engagement with them. It's like that's not an artist. That's not a response to the media as something about them. That's weird, I'm not making anything that's very lurid.
Ooh, big word again. You're okay about me though, right? We can close the mic if you want.
What did you say?
I mean,
I love you so much. Never be surprised the weird shit people get their freak on. Example, John Lennon.
Yeah, it's good. A lot of people like to take him down lately. A lot.
That nice guy, could have some dirty little secrets.
Yeah, it's not fair to take down a dead guy. He's dead. How can he defend himself?
What was the high-pitched sound? It was probably a peacock. Mickey the Greedy Pimp Mouse? That was funny in my opinion. Is that a Rule 34 thing? I guess he beat his wife or something like that.
Yeah.
He was a wife beater.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's...
Peter.
I know. And I'm not condoning him doing that at all. But I'm just saying everyone has issues.
No, I am racially fluid. That's a subset of transracial.
Yeah,
there are two kinds of
right.
transracial. There are types who can convert races once, and there are racially fluid transracials like me.
I showed the Alexander Cruz on my site. On my YouTube, you can see the exact spot he was murdered in, actually. Right outside his door.
Maybe she asked for it. I've had plenty of women ask for it in my life, and I never hit any of them. And they totally asked for it. You got to resist the urge to smack people. It's basic civilization, right? David Carradine, interesting story. Poor guy. I do remember how he died. Autoerotic asphyxiation. he choked himself to death trying to get off, but he accidentally pushed it too far.
I didn't know that the Oscars didn't happen
I
on
didn't-
2021. What? That's so weird. What? They just wanted to be in warmer weather.
All right, by Raphael, if a woman hits me first, then it's happened before. I said, "You better not hit me again. I'm gonna hit you back." I got decked by my first wife one time. She fucking decked me because I told her the only woman I really loved was Delilah,
Ooh. Wait, who decked you?
my first wife.
Oh, I could see her.
I was sure I said that, but at the time, she was already
She
cheating
don't even.
on me, so I don't know what the fuck she was thinking. Anyway,
That's like well, that goes to show how an INFP can use SE. No.
yeah, I guess so. The thing is, I'm not 100% sure she was INFP. She might have been ISFP, but I think she was INFP. Who's it better to be, Paul Rubin or David Carradine? Paul Rubin, because he's alive, isn't he? Pee-wee?
Yeah, he is.
He just got caught masturbating in an adult theater.
Mm-hmm.
That's just normal everyday business for people. Nowadays,
Except that he's famous. That's the only thing.
right, but nowadays I wouldn't even make the news.
But if it was a celebrity, definitely would. Definitely. But that's why they have their own home theaters.
Right. Well, yeah. It's like, even at the time, who went to adult movie theaters?
It was this weird thing.
Now, that's a weird thing, is adult movie theaters.
I've never been.
Well, they only existed for a little while,
They said 70s.
They existed in the 70s when movies were out, but there was no VHS or Betamax or anything yet.
Up. Set in 1970s, New York City was like Times Square had all those movie theaters. Give it a rest. I'm giving you the hand, Peter. I'm not as nice.
Socionics duality is wrong. Look, I don't think socionics duality necessarily claims that that's the only way to have a good relationship, or even that that's the best relationship. I think socionics duality claims that it's the easiest relationship, or the one that produces the least native challenges in terms of functions. But I would say that it is nevertheless wrong. I would agree with you on this point that it's wrong for perceiving types. Judging types, those with TI, FI, FE, or TE in their dominant function, I think duality works for them. But I think for perceiving types, you need to have the same N or the same S.
Oh, curious, Kyra. I'm sure they do want to play with you. INFPs seem to have this thing with like animals.
There's a lot of bunnies around here. I had a terrible experience with duality as well. But I really think that my terrible experience with duality was a terrible experience with BPD more than anything else.
You also had an amazing experience with an ISFJ, having an ISFJ mother.
Right. I had a great relationship. I had a great duality relationship mother-son. I've had a great duality relationship friend-friend.
Yeah, true.
I've not had one romantic.
It's an interesting thing.
But I think that the universe didn't want me to get with the easiest, inherently most comfortable or native thing. It wanted me to get with somebody who was compatible in a way that produced some sort of synergy. In other words, that made us both better rather than made us both less useful, which is what ISFJ and ENTP.
I'd be around a lot. Okay, well, maybe I'd be around a lot more if I was ISFJ. I don't know. I don't know anything except for myself. Would I'd be cooking more.
I mean, the thing is, you wouldn't be able to do this. You'd have your own space already set. You know, it's like that's the thing. It's like I'm looking for somebody to integrate into my life. Rachel's been able to do that. And I think ISFJ, they're so married to their
space.
Just what their SI, all their self stuff.
True. They are good to go to advice for like that kind of stuff.
You were right, Aaron. You were right about her being an INFP.
Who's an INFP?
Kyra.
Oh, he guessed.
He said he knew as soon as he saw her. You've had a better relationship with an ENFP than anyone else. The other thing to remember is you've got to factor in the particularist elements. Rachel and I, yes, I think so. I think ISFJ and ESTP is the ideal, as long as neither is damaged.
Me too. But I would agree on that as well. Because I know I don't talk about MBTI as much when I'm on the channel with you, but I do study this stuff, and I've typed every single person that I've ever dated. So
here's the other thing is, as I said earlier, for all the totally inappropriate dismissiveness of people towards Rachel's knowledge, she's actually very knowledgeable about functions and very good at typing people as well.
thanks.
So, she's not as interested in displaying that or fighting those battles necessarily. Yeah. It's more for her own purposes and less of an abstract presentation as it is for me.
100%. Thank you for explaining that. Because it's not true that I don't want to talk about it. It's just that I think that your way of explaining to certain types on the channel understand it better than when I do, because sometimes my answers are very simplistic. And some people want more.
I mean, you've got an NI relationship with your understanding of functions, which is to say, it informs things rather than is something you deliberate about.
Yeah, yep. I deliberate when it comes to your words.
I know you do. The thing is, you've done the deliberation on cognitive functions long ago. So now it's not something you want to necessarily deliberate about more. You're simply using it to inform your way of knowing universally about things. I will note that there are times when I'm musing about functions, but I'm just chatting with Rachel, and I'll say, and she'll go, "Oh, that really is clarifying regarding this this confusion I had about that type or something."
Yes.
So for her, I can really see how everything fits into this knowledge frame where things are worth learning to know them. For me, it's like once I know them, I almost, it's like, okay, well, that necessarily does inform my thinking, but that's not why I don't know.
You like to change it?
Yeah, for things that I can, yeah. Certain things, like cognitive functions, it's so complicated and involved that the best you can do is try to get it exactly right, and that means reducing the amount of mushiness, not increasing it. But there's a lot of things in life where I prefer to increase the mushiness.
Me too. I like increased mushiness with Eric. It makes me bond with him.
Oliver, and that's the way it is. It's like everybody assumes that other people operate in their own frames until they realize they're in cognitive functions and realize, wait, that's not the case. So for you, Oliver Linehan, you always assumed that everyone was like that knowledge frame before you knew about cognitive functions, right? And so, like, when you see an action type, you're likely to be all, look, the problem's simple here. You need to look before you leap. You need to know before you take action, for God's sakes. Blah, 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 blah. And if, as an action type, dealing with a knowledge type, if I don't know anything about people having different cognitive function stacks, are you looking for weeds?
No, is that Pete?
No, that's not Pete.
Okay, good.
Then, so, what was I saying? Oh, right. As an action type, well, for example, early in this relationship, even with cognitive functions, I still do it. I still assume the frame of the other person. When I said I was arguing with Rachel earlier in the relationship, you know, she'd say, "Well, how do you know that is the right relationship around the person you want to be with?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Rachel, you make a decision. You decide that, and then you act accordingly. In other words, you do the thing first. You find out later if you're right."
Right.
Whereas that's the opposite of the knowledge types, you know? My position is, well, you're never going to know if you're right either way until you go ahead and pretend, you know, fake it till you make it or discover that it's not going to work. So it's like, well, let's just pretend we're super in love and perfect for each other and in a dream relationship. And then if it turns out that's not the case, we'll find out later. In the meantime, you need to paddle properly and play along with my little thing here, so that we find out. So, and she's like, no, wait, hold on. We shouldn't even be in the boat yet. We should be standing on the shore, knowing whether the boat's water sound, whether we really want to get in the boat. We need to spend a lot of time knowing first. So, you know, that, and that would be the way I would argue those things is basically say, no, you need to act, not know. And she'd be like, because she's a knower and not an actor, she's at a disadvantage responding to those kind of action approaches language-wise. So she's kind of like at a loss. Didn't really know how to respond to it exactly. But
I don't.
But also knew that there was something reductive about
Right.
it. Sure. Of course, the nice thing is, I'm so attentive to. I'm so metacognitive that I usually catch myself doing it. And
yeah, you do apologize too. We're both apologizers.
Yeah. And I usually will parse out what it was that I did, you know.
What was that I was coming from? Usually, you know, mental illness, you're learning. I'm learning.
When I say it's like the backboard for things to get the ball into the hoop, no. I would not say that. I mean, in certain circumstances, it may play out like that, you know. There may be times when, what did you do wrong? Nothing, Kyrie. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like a backboard. I'd say the third slot is you know, for me, it's easy to understand the slot roles in terms of having to make a presentation or project for school. You have to get in front of the class and present. And so you got your posters, you got your speech, you got yourself doing the thing, right?
Yep.
So it's like extrovert intuition has no problem with coming up with lots of things to put on the posters.
Colors.
Ideas,
pictures.
words mostly. Not so much colors and pictures, but words mostly, right? Like, well, I could cover this topic on the poster, I could cover this topic on the poster, this topic on the poster. I have these words to say about it. If anything, extrovert intuition left to its own devices is likely to of course, put too many words on the poster that nobody's going to be able to read from a distance. TI makes sure the words that are on the poster are defensible.
So do you think that a good editor for an ENTP would be an INTP or could be an INTP?
Possibly, but hold on, let me go through the stack still. I'm not quite done going through
I think
this.
an INFJ would be good too.
Sure, but hold on, let me finish going through the stack here. So if the first slot comes up with lots of words to put on the posters, different subtopics of the thing to talk about. Let's say the topic is the American Revolutionary War. Any comes out and says, well, I could. It searches SI, everything it knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about this angle on that, and then thinks about different angles on those things it knows. And potentially could even link to something physical in the world if it's saw something that linked. But the TI checks to make sure the words are defensible. The FE is concerned with trying to make it look neat on the poster. Okay, so like, drawing the lines carefully, stuff like that, trying to make it look nice.
Yeah.
The SI part is very much taking a back seat in this process because the SI is going to say, well, what approaches worked before when you're doing this poster kind of assignment? But the NE-DOM is going to be much more driven by the novelty value and say, well, I've got to do something different than I did last time. I've always got to do something different than I did last time. Now, NI is the thing that says, hold on, Eric, that's too many words on the poster. Nobody's going to be able to read them, and you're not going to convey any particular point with any of these posters. NI is the part that says that. TE is the part that says, no, don't paint on the border lines on the poster. Don't paint on the border lines on the poster. That's going to take too long. Don't like pinstripe it with very careful painting. Instead, just use a pen and a ruler. That'll be quicker and basically accomplish mostly the same thing. That's what the TE says. The FI attends to, but it would look really cool if I had the pinstripe painting part. I really want that. But it also thinks, yeah, but I want to play this video game later. So I'm gonna concede to TE on this occasion so I can get more of what I want later or something. And then the SE part is the part that just does the poster. That's functions for NP, a function stack on a poster, right? First and foremost, it's about novelty. I'm trying to do something I've not done before and coming up with different ideas that I could put there that'd be interesting or surprising in some way. Second, I'm checking to make sure that they are defensible. They can't just be surprising, they need to be defensible as well. Third, that was my fart. That's how I end things, Alexandra. That means it's over. I mean, it's like fin in French. I'm recapping this because I think it's a good understanding of cognitive functions. Being an extrovert in intuition DOM means most of my attention is on generating different words to put on the poster. Secondly, concurrently, those words are being parsed through for defensibility. Third slot, FE. Make sure that the poster looks kind of nice, not too super sloppy. People can read it, so on and so forth. Maybe put some smiley faces on it or something like that. Fourth slot, SI, is mostly taking a back seat during this. It's producing information I already know about the American Revolution, and also informing me about what I need to look up and what I don't need to look up based on what I already know. But by and large, it's values. The values that normally correlate with SI, which are familiarity and similarity, are being made secondary to or subsumed by the predominant value of novelty, trying to come up with something new or surprising to put on the thing. Now, in the fifth slot, NI is the function that says that's too many words. You're not having any clear message here. What is your clear message? Or you've got too many different ideas that don't have a single theme that they're centered around. Or, that it just doesn't come together in some way. It's missing something. I see what's wrong here. It's missing this one piece of the puzzle that would make it clear for everybody. Those things are NI considerations. When you're using TE, you're evaluating the cost-benefit analysis. How much time is it going to take me to do it this way versus how much better is it going to look? Is there a more efficient way to accomplish a comparable outcome, even if it's not exactly the same? That's TE. Attending via TE is thinking about those questions. Attending via FI is just knowing what it is you really want. But I really want to try this pinstriping technique that, I'm just beginning to practice. It seems so fun. Then the SE part is just the execution of it. So part of being FI-polar means not doing a good job of knowing when not to indulge your, but I feel like it this way thing. I'm bad at that. I'm likely to try to do the pinstriping technique. I have to turn the poster over. At least this the kind of thing I would do when I was a kid, because I'm bad at managing what I want. I'm inclined to indulge myself. So I think that's a good explanation. Now, regarding my fart, I appreciate all the attention you guys gave it. It's good stuff. All wonderful. You guys should be thinking about stuff that comes out of my butt. Most of your time of the day should be spent thinking about that. A whiz popper, cried the BFG, beaming at her. Us giants is making whiz poppers all the time. Whiz popping is a sign of happiness is music to our ears. This is now my nose. It looks like a pack of cigarettes. Those are the things that I smoke with my lips in my mouth and my lungs. Yeah. This is now my nose. Hello, how's it goes? So, I guess I'm going to look over here at this thing. I'm watching to see how Animal Party's doing. 57 views, 13 likes, 81%. Not bad, I guess. Of course, I got my haters,
What happened?
3 thumbs down on Animal Party.
Oh, it just ended?
No, it's not ended.
Oh.
I'm saying
3 haters.
3 thumbs down on Animal Party. Oh, that's okay. Haters gonna hate. Success correlates with
Success.
haters.
Yeah, it does.
Who's looking forward to the upcoming retrograde season?
What's going on with
when
that?
When is Mercury going into retrograde?
When is what going in?
Well, let's find out.
Yeah.
Mercury and retrograde.
Mom.
That was Amy here last, actually.
Oh, really? Well, I'm glad that since Mom is in the chat, it's good to see her.
Yes. Let's see. Is Mercury in retrograde? No, not right now.
Is anything?
Mercury turns retrograde on this one. Tomorrow.
Hi, Kitty Wonderpants.
Rachel,
What?
Mercury goes retrograde tomorrow.
Stop it.
Oh, shit, you not. At 9:59 p.m. tomorrow night,
Wow.
Pacific time.
Hello, my kitty wonder.
In other words,
Oh,
25 or 26 hours from now,
Oh my.
Mercury will go retrograde.
You want a kitty pageant? I want a kitty pageant. Yeah. Oh. Dear Pupil.
Okay, so here's the thing. Given that Mercury's going into retrograde tomorrow, we can expect a few challenges. Well, for one thing, I got an early little bit of it with my card having to be replaced. Had to replace my debit card
Yeah.
because somebody tried to charge $500 worth of gas on it in Ohio somehow.
Yep.
It was declined. So it's not like anybody successfully fraudulently charged anything, but nevertheless, that's twice they've attempted to.
Cold water, cold water. I feel like
It's a watery grave.
I feel like ground week, ground week, ground week. It's a coffee.
Hi, Bill Walton.
It's coffee.
Think about the days in which think about how it was for strippers back in the days when people only had gold, silver, and copper coins.
Ow.
Well, I'm just saying it was kind of like the girl had a dump in her panties because it would just be filled up with coins like that instead of bills sticking out the top, you know.
Yeah. But when were dollars introduced? So their panties were probably pretty big.
I believe the stripper lobbied to have paper money introduced. Nearly a year after stripping became a profession.
I agree.
Or more likely, it was just that it was like, well, I mean, you know, it was like a vending machine. They just put the dollar in there, you know. Yeah, you just and there you go. Probably actually more convenient than at the end of the stripper's shift. She just kind of stood with a bucket underneath her and went like this. It sounded like a jackpot in a casino. Click, 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 click.
That's a heavy undergarment.
No, well, I'm saying, forget the undergarment. The way it worked back in the day is it would be like a vending machine. They just insert the gold dollar into her bags there, you know.
Oh my god.
And then naturally at the end of the day, she just stand over a bucket and shake herself like that, and it would all fall out. That's a pretty funny idea, huh? They paid in diamonds? Ouch. No cut gems. They have a sign big on the wall in the strip club. No cut gems, please.
Oh, Douglas fir.
What about gum stripping? I mean, people stripping for gum?
Speaking of, I have some.
Will strip for gum is a sign you don't see very often.
No. It's true.
That's a sensible explanation of things, even though that's Rex. It sounds right. It just sounds right. You've got that anti-correctness feel. There was an evolution from stoning people. First, they stoned people through stones at them. Then they started throwing coins. Eventually, the strippers started wearing thongs, and that's why they invented dollar bills. Makes
Hello?
sense. Yeah. That's some good analysis.
I agree.
Well, I remember one time I went to a stoning, and imagine my surprise when there was no bong there, just a pile of rocks.
What kind of life is that?
What kind of stoning is this? I said. Newcomers might think this is a Corona stream straight from quarantine. Really?
I know. It's not.
We're not fully quarantined anymore.
No.
We're only partially. We're still more shut down than most places. I wish they designated the job of collecting and throwing coins to a guy and called him pimp. Don't they? Kind of. Well, you're not a beginner. I'm not a beginner at what? Oh, you mean Curious Kyra's not a beginner at the piano. Yeah, she's got some fingers. They've lived a few days. They've been around the piano block a few times. Sorry, Jason Blood. Sorry for fucking up your joke, Jason Blood. My bad.
Hey, Jerry, like the mouse?
A long time no see, Jerry like the mouse. This is a long live stream, huh? We're live streaming our asses off.
I know.
We're gonna win some sort of prize from YouTube for live streaming so much.
I think so.
We should.
Right?
Why doesn't YouTube give me a prize?
Use the wisest.
I want a prize.
I
I want both a prize and an award. And a certificate and a sash. I want a prize and award, a certificate, a sash. I want to get to stand on a float and wave like that while we go down the street.
My YouTube pageant winner.
I want to be a YouTube pageant winner. I want a tiara.
You're my YouTube pageant winner.
Thanks, Darlene.
Oh, yeah.
Who has a cringe expression? Who are you talking about?
Connor.
Kyra doesn't have a cringe expression. You can barely even see anything. It's so small. What about you, El Lobo Froze? You look like I don't know.
Like somebody from
You look like
Crow.
you're not fully alive. No email anthrax. Rachel's not gonna put her fingers in my pooper.
No.
She's gonna put a drumstick. The what do you call it? The ice cream kind.
He's very strong.
You missed the long streams. Well, miss them no longer. You're in the middle of one right now.
Yeah.
So there's no point feeling nostalgia for it. You might need to possumendations. What is that? Recommendations about possums? Is that a possumendation?
I'm not gonna sneak a finger. That's rude. I would only ask. But this is like more medicinal.
Yeah.
You're gonna obviously have to tell me this is pretty much to help you out in your health. And I hope you're doing.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it.
Me neither. Thanks.
If God has a name other than God and Jesus, do you think it would make sense if it was a name that was nearly impossible for human to pronounce? Well, I mean, I would assume God has many names. Presumably,
I'm really
one
sorry.
can refer to God by different names and still be talking about the same thing. Right?
I'm so. Let me. Excuse my coughs. I have to excuse myself for a little bit.
You kind of like the size when strings are too fast or dead. Yeah, I mean, it's nice when you can get in the 20s. I agree. When the size is a little bit bigger, it tends to prolong the stream as well. When there's a lot of action going on in the chat that's interesting, I tend to feel just comfortable just continuing on. It doesn't really require anything. Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, get it.
Got it?
Oh, that's a good get right there. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Boy, that loaf, it's a tough cookie, let me tell you. Canoodle.
Do you want us to canoodle?
No, I think she's saying that when there's enough people here, we continue to canoodle. What does canoodle mean exactly?
Isn't it like
Snuggle?
mm-hmm.
Might be. I'm genuinely sad and I do want to cry now. But I have to eat something
I'm
and practice
sorry,
some more.
Kyra. You have several loaves of bread on your shoulder?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I love it when he gets his loaf.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. That's support.
That Jesus is always saving people.
Canned noodles, you're funny, emailed. So wait, what planets are going retrograde when?
Mercury's going retrograde tomorrow.
Wonderful. And everything else? Is
I don't
Venus
know.
still in retrograde?
I didn't look up that one.
Angantir, do you know what other, and Winston's moms, do you know what other retrogrades are going on right now? Yeah, Venus is already in retrograde. That makes a lot of sense.
The Venetians.
He's got a loaf of tension,
Mm-hmm.
but you really got it. Ooh,
It's pretty.
it's
Still pretty.
it's his
Pretty beefy.
try. Where?
Yeah, it's just right in
Okay.
there, right there. But you're gonna need to use something a lot bigger than your little fingers, girl.
I know. I'm sorry.
use
That's
your
what my
elbow.
tea sucks, and I want to take care of you.
It's okay, darling. I'm fine. When planets align, my dong lets me know.
That's somatic.
I'm looking forward to the exciting conclusion to part 1 of our earlier activity, Rachel.
Me too.
I do feel some sadness in my heart too because I care about the world too, and I'm depressed by certain things that are wrong and bad.
Oh, like poor kitty that has a Mars is conjuncting.
Uh-oh, don't conjoin with Uranus.
I have Mars square Uranus, so I understand what that means.
My dark moon Lilith. Sits here, sits where? Who's dark moon
In
Lilith?
Mars, I guess.
Yes, Lawnmower.
Mine does too.
Yes, because to clarify, we had I guess you'd say warm-up sexual intercourse earlier, and I got tired
It happens.
and we took a nap.
It's really nice.
You know, I get winded fairly easily.
The
It's okay. I do too.
And then we took a break and fell asleep. And so, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, my darling.
At what part?
Logic and warmth will be the solution. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here's the deal. When I look at the world right now, I see so much divisiveness in everything. Everything is so divisive. People are all trying to take a side and demonize the other side.
Oh, you kitties had enough of it.
Everybody thinks that their priority ought to be prioritized by everybody, and that people who don't prioritize that, no, they do. It absolutely helps a little further. That's my point. There's nothing divisive about being transracial. Because I'm every race.
You tried to catch that you didn't catch.
I'm every race, and I successfully point out the arbitrary, subjective, and meaningless nature of race.
Oh,
it's the only way to be wholly inclusive without being racial. And racial is always divisive. Transracial is the solution. I render identity politics absurd and actually make claims that solve the issue, right? I side with neither side. I side with all sides concurrently. Now, that's why we have to talk specifically about how we talk is more important than any specific thing you might suggest we talk about. I want to have a child with a woman of each and every race. You know, there are, I think now, 48,000 different races, so you got a lot of work to do.
She's hard to ignore you.
Kyra's not ignoring you.
Is she?
No. She's making him a smorgasbord.
Oh.
That's why she's busy.
That's
right now.
why.
She's preparing you a smorgasbord.
Hello. Takes a lot of time.
Misled intuitives are way more dangerous. Well, I mean, look. I would say that
Well, that's good. I'm happy to see that your leg is not as bad.
maybe you're racially trans. Well, it's the same. It's the same thing as transracial. You got two manifestations of it. You either change race once. Presumably, you could be transracial on multiple occasions in that case, but you assume each time that you're going to stay that race, or you are aware that you're racially fluid, like me. There are both manners of being transracial. I would like to think that I offer an actual bridge that addresses the divisiveness in a meaningful way. But I wait, I guess, for the slabs to deliver a moment where things coalesce and change. You know, I feel like I've been plateaued now for quite some time, just sort of treading water as far as progress, at least in YouTube.
It's so odd to me.
But there's a lot of potential energy that I continue to, I believe, build up behind all my effort of communicating with people and all things I communicate. And I am hopeful that that potential energy eventually finds a channel through which it can manifest into more concrete impacts, you know? Like right now, I'm 4 hours almost into the stream. There's 14 people here, 6 thumbs up. That's great, you know, but it's been like that for a long time now, and it's not seeming to change at all. So, I guess wishful thinking, perhaps, or just positivism in general, says I'm building up a lot of potential energy that hasn't yet been converted into anything. Therefore, it's still available to be tapped. But the slabs are going to tap it, not me. You know,
Yeah.
because the thing is that
brute force is not doesn't seem to be working with
Well-
YouTube for some reason.
do as thou wilt is the Satanist motto for a reason. To pursue the good has some element of acknowledging that you are at the mercy of the slabs. Now, that doesn't excuse you from taking actions, but the thing is, I've taken so many actions that it's hard to say that my level of effort is at fault. It certainly has to be something other than that. Oh, Jason Blood, you don't want to do those things. I mean, look, I think it's perfectly fine to say you'd like to extend your life as long as possible, because I get that. I have a sense that I have way less time than I need to do all the things I would like to do. But immortal, no. After all, I do want at some point to find out what happens after death, even if it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's nothing I want to actually find out, but death can be a relief if you lose your loved ones. Well, I mean, that's the thing about SI. SI understands that the current characters in your life aren't replaceable. They are the characters of your life. They leave an impact on you, and you can't escape from that. The joke is the Earth is the most interesting thing in the universe, which is a noisy background of rocks and gases. The double joke is right now, this is the most interesting thing on Earth. And there's only like 13 people here. 14,
I know, right?
14 people.
Oh, thanks for counting me.
Now that's interesting. The fact that the most interesting thing happening on Earth right now, is attended by only a total of 14 people.
Right?
That's surprising.
That is surprising. Your live streams are always great.
They aren't,
Oh
but sometimes they are.
my gosh, you're right.
This one's pretty good.
It gets the 10 of Wands.
Two nuances isn't
Ooh.
bad. I got the
Oh.
most feminist deck of cards in the history of mankind for Rachel. It's like
That's so
totally
funny.
it's like the vag and boobs cards.
Yeah, it is. Okay, what is it? 10 of Wands? I want to see what it says in here. It's different.
You lost,
Energy extreme, possible burnout, or tremendous creative explosion. That's the channel.
no email answer. I was counting me and Rachel.
Yeah, me too.
What is your goal, host Eric? I think you derive value from these live streams. You have a TE. You have to TE to make a career on YouTube, but you know that. It's, you know what? It's, what's his mom? Here's the thing. It's less true than you think. I've done a lot of different TE. I've tried a lot of the different things that people recommend. But the problem is I need to NI more. I need to actually reduce the channel. I don't need to do anything in particular different necessarily, except make it into a clear identity. The problem that it has right now is that it doesn't present to a prospective viewer a clear identity of what it is, who I am, what it's about. Uploaded videos succeed and fail on YouTube according to a different metric than do live streams.
Yeah.
Well, I was counting the total number of people getting to experience it, which includes myself. I'm a human being too. Is there always a
Yes,
more
you
proper
are,
word to use
baby.
for the place of God? No. Did Joe get the bag of rocks? Yes, he got it.
Hello, Capio. My
Hustle
very
for 6.
important kitty friend.
That's the thing. Hustle doesn't produce results. Random hustle, just effort in and of itself, does not produce results.
Yeah.
Um,
I hustled for a long time.
even
yeah,
concretely
you know
directed
it.
effort doesn't really produce
Even
results.
Kitty says
You kind of got to get lucky and find something people want to see. What got a
Yes,
lot of my
Capio.
subscribers was Type Police.
You know all. You're such a smart kitty friend. Yes. And a kitty passion winner. Yes, you are.
Oh, Jason Blood, the unobserved universe doesn't exist. Everybody knows that.
Yes, you are the kitty passion winner.
If you've ever seen the show Forever with Lone Griffold, you know it's going to be a boring life, possibly torturous living forever. I've never seen the show Forever. We are all gods in our own universe. No. Even in my own universe, I'm subject to my humanity at any time. I could have to go poo. You know, I could get stomachache.
I pulled out these 2 cards.
Romance and love. Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage.
Mhm.
Oh, my precious wonder. Rachel, shall we draw this to a close, maybe?
I think so.
Shall we listen to our book
Yeah.
and lie down here?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I may have to explore your womanhood.
I think that's a good idea.
I'll rival the world. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Don't forget to explore your womanhood tonight.
Exactly.